Game 1 of 1 against the San Diego Sunrays here at Sinsheimer Stadium. SLO Blues looking to win the weekend here as we get you set for the weekend here in San Luis Obispo. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast. Mark Robinson joins me, or Ryan Giacomini just cut the cameras to us. Mark Robinson joins me, as always, for our pregame show, getting you set for this game against the San Diego Sunrays. Now, Mark, this is this team's first year in existence. Why don't you give us some details about what we know from them so far?
Will do, Nate. This is a very interesting organization. I did a little bit of research and a little bit of digging. As you just said, they are a brand new summer ball team and a brand new addition to the CCL this season. No previous seasons ever before. It's their first time playing, and they're currently 2-6 in league play. So, I mean, for your first season, not a bad look. But the most interesting thing about this team, which I think is crazy, and I'm sure you'll agree, they don't have a home base. They don't have a stadium. They don't reside in a specific part of San Diego. Like they're not from Carlsbad or Encinitas or anything like they're just the San Diego Sunrays. I don't know if they have like a building they meet in San Diego or something like that. But no home field. They just travel, and they only play away games. What do you think of that?
Road warriors, man, that's really tough to do. Guys moving around in their own cars, having to go to the stadiums. And, hey, I've been there before. I've had a few summer ball teams where we didn't have a home field either. And you kind of just have to carpool with guys and show up, and you get your jersey at the field. And it's looking like that's the same situation here. Had I known this team existed back when I was playing, you might have seen me out there at Sinsheimer today. But we're so lucky here in San Luis Obispo. We have a whole park with a good sound system, good fans, good seating. So it really kind of puts into perspective how lucky we are here at the Blues to have the kind of home that we have. But certainly as this team begins its early life in the CCL, as they try to stay in this league, that is one of the things that they're going to have to figure out, getting the funding, getting the traction to eventually secure a stadium in San Diego.
We had General Manager Adam Stowe up here just a few minutes ago, and we were chatting with him about this new organization. And I mean, obviously Adam Stowe has the marketing aspect and the business aspect of the SLO Blues dialed down to the bone. And he was saying it's one thing to be able to have, 20, 30 guys show up, put on a uniform, and play a baseball game. But if you can't find a home stadium, a sponsorship, and find some sort of a fan base and get them excited about a team, you might not see this team around for very long.
But we'll see, and we'll see tonight as they play the SLO Blues with their 2-6 record. Mark, why don't you tell us about what's going on in the standings? Because we do know that the San Diego Sunrays, they are, a partnership CCL team. So they're getting some support from the CCL and audition, if you will, for the Sunrays to join the league next year officially. So they will be ineligible for playoffs. But as the standings look right now, the Blues are off to a pretty solid start.
The Blues are off to a phenomenal start. We're about a third of the way into the season. We played 18 games as a whole. I don't exactly know how many conference games we've played. But before we get into the North standings, let's take a quick look at the South standings. In order from first place all the way down to last. In first, the Arroyo Seco Saints with a 6-2 record. Next is the Santa Barbara Foresters, who are 6-3. Followed by the Conejo Oaks, 6-4, followed by the OC Riptide, 5-5. Then come the Academy Barons, who are 4-7. And even though they are auditioning, as you put, I included them in the South standings. The Sunrays are in the last place spot with a 2-6 record. We've seen the Foresters and the Academy Barons so far this season. What do you think of these teams so far and how they sit in the rankings?
Well, the Foresters dropped those 2 games against San Luis Obispo, and those are some pretty big wins for the Blues there. But they're going to be hovering around that top 2 spot, pretty much the whole year. And they're actually not going to be present in the CCL playoffs because they head over to the Midwest. They head over to Kansas for the ABC World Series for summer ball. So they're not even going to be a factor come playoff time. So really, when you're competing in the South, it's really a battle for winning second place, honestly, because most years, the Foresters are just going to take first, and then whoever's in second is going to come and represent the South for the postseason. And last year it was the OC Riptide, and that's something that was very surprising to me looking at the standings, that they're not circulating in that top 3 spot. They're sitting in the bottom half of the CCL South. They're having some difficulties getting some things going down there in Irvine. But yeah, with the Sunrays, you can't expect perfection right out the gates. You got Bill Pintard managing the Santa Barbara Foresters, a program that's been around for a very long time. This is a fetus that we're seeing out on the field right now. So they got some things to figure out. We give them some time while they have their audition. But certainly with the CCL South, I think I'm mostly surprised to not see the OC Riptide higher up in the standings.
Absolutely. And I think my favorite thing about baseball, talking about the OC Riptide, even in a small season, like a summer ball type of season, obviously we're not playing an MLB-sized season, but they have a lot of time to turn around some kinks that they may need to work out and climb their way back up the rankings, which I think is exactly what they're going to be able to do.
The Foresters kind of did it too. They hit a bit of a skid at the beginning of this year, and they were in a spot that we are not accustomed to seeing, and obviously they've worked their way back up as they're now second in the conference with the Arroyo Seco Saints in first. They've just been an absolute locomotive to begin the year.
Absolutely.
But it seems like it's going to be those two teams duking it out for the final stretch of the year.
I'm looking forward to seeing those teams battle and bounce back and forth in that spot. Moving on to what we're more excited to talk about, because our very own SLO Blues sit on this side of the league, the north side of the California Collegiate League. In first place, the Walnut Creek Crawdads. This was a little bit of a shock to me. Super happy for them, though. We've got some fellow Mustang News co-workers working up for that team. In second place on the north side, our very own San Luis Obispo Blues at 5-3, followed by the Menlo Park Legends at 4-3, the San Francisco Seagulls at 4-5, the Sonoma Stompers are also 4-5, and in last, the Alameda Merchants, who are 1-6. Nate, there's one team I want to talk about on the north side of this league. Do you think you could guess who?
I'm going to say us, SLO Blues.
Correct. I was talking to General Manager Adam Stowe, love bringing him up again, yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, about where we're at this season, and he is very happy with the way that this team looks, and I completely agree with him. The team is not only playing phenomenally, playing very well in the field, making a lot of good defensive plays, but also batting very nicely. The lineup is changing for the better. It's being moved around. Like, we're not seeing E.J. Royal in the leadoff spot every time, which is fun to see manager Dean Traynor play around with that and see what works for the team. And what he's doing is working very well. I mean, how do you feel about this team so far?
Well, having seen what the Blues played like last year, it's been refreshing to see the types of at-bats that they put together. Whenever the Blues are trailing in a game or whenever they're down in the count, you never feel like there's no hope. The guys are always going to throw together good at-bats. They're going to foul off pitches that they don't like. They're going to take balls away. And I think as a lineup, there's a lot more cohesion going on. You have your staple guys in E.J. Royal, Braden Mondu, Brendan Comerford that will hold it down up there in the top half of the lineup. And everyone else in the bottom half, you can mix and match around. And honestly, there are some games where if the top half doesn't show up, the bottom half does just as well. So I think just 1 through 9 is just very solid for San Luis Obispo. There isn't really a big drop-off. I feel like everyone is pretty consistent going through the entire lineup, and I think you have to mention as well the pitching has been night and day compared to last year. Last year it was very difficult for guys to stick around and even throw strikes consistently. Now with the Blues, we're seeing many new starting pitching names come up, and a guy we haven't seen in a while, Cody Albright, still sitting over there on the bench, but there's just more talent flowing in for San Luis Obispo, and they've been holding it down for the starting pitching end of things. My favorite tandem for the Blues has been that John Damazonio, Eddie Tierney action that we saw in Santa Barbara doing their thing. I'd like to see that soon. We're not getting that tonight with Jackson Howe making his 4th start for the Blues, the opening day starter for San Luis Obispo. But I think there's just all around improvements in every facet. Now,
absolutely.
I think the one part where the Blues still need to work on a little bit is the defense. The errors have been a problem, as well as the base running. But those are very fixable mistakes, and I think they're going to be looking just fine because at this point in the season last year, they were not sitting in second place in the CCL.
Yes, not at all. I mean, they're definitely not in a bad spot, and I love how we were talking about just the lights-out pitching. We've seen so many awesome players step out on the Sinsheimer mound and just put up phenomenal pitching performance. You can show that they care, they have grit, and they want to show out for this home fan base. My personal favorite so far this season, Logan Groff. He has just been absolutely lights out when he steps out on the plate. I had the chance to speak with him in an interview the other night. He just shuts down emotionally and locks in. He knows exactly what to do and when to do it on the mound. I think it might come from his side hobby, which we learned about recently, his golf game. Logan Groff, ladies and gentlemen, has a 9 handicap. If you don't know what that means in terms of golf, That is a very good golfer right there.
It's insane. It really is insane. Mark and I were talking about him. Oh, we should golf sometime. Oh, I heard your handicap. Probably not, actually. I'm going to embarrass myself.
Nate and I are golfers on the side of our awesome work we do here at Sinsheimer, and we are not a 9 handicap. I can tell you that right now.
Far from it.
Yes. Just one more closing thought, something I want to talk about again that you brought up, cohesion. I had this chance to speak with Rene Regalado, one of the assistant coaches, last night. That was one of the biggest talking points that he and I were talking about in terms of where this team is at and how it is going to help them push through their standings in the CCL. He was just talking about how close this team is getting and how that's reflecting the way that they play. They, on and off the field, I mean, I hang out in the dugout a lot doing all the production and the camera stuff. Those guys are getting really close, and they are having a blast with each other. And I think it's transferring into the way that they're playing. Some other things that Rene Regalado said that I think are going to help a lot are repetition, getting closer, as I said, and just working out the small defensive kinks that are going to help them improve as a team overall.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a lot of healthy signs here for San Luis Obispo. As we'll send you back into the field, first pitch happening in about 4 minutes here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Mark Robinson, thank you as always for joining me in the pregame show.
Always a pleasure. This is my favorite part of my 6+ hour day here at Sinsheimer, getting to sit alongside Nate Mills and talk about baseball.
Absolutely. Stay tuned, everyone. The first pitch is happening right now, as well as starting lineups on the SLO Blue streaming network.
Starting pitcher tonight for the Blues is the right-hander from Cuesta College, number 8, Jackson Howell. The Blues are led by Dean Traynor. He is assisted by Brian Traynor, Rene Regalado, Mason Alex, Max Slover, Robbie Lardner, and Jared Money. Ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you would now stand, please, and kindly remove your hats as Katie Vickers sings our national anthem. Katie?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's
Back at the crib here at Sinsheimer Stadium for Game 19 of the year. San Luis Obispo Blues hosting the San Diego Sunrays and some CCL play here in San Luis Obispo. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everyone. My name is Nate Mills, calling the balls and strikes and much more for your Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. As we get you set for this ball game, let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Behind the dish, it's Nico Button. Making the start over at first base is Zach Tollerman. Braden Jeffries at second. Casey Borba returns to third base. Sam Ardwa at shortstop. Gio Blanchette in left. E.J. Royal in center. And Jariah Lewis in right field. Making the start for the Blues on the mound, it's Jackson Howell. And let's take a look at the starting 9 for the San Diego Sunrays. 1 through 9, here's the leadoff batter. Gabe Darcy. Number 2, it's Evan Rolbecki. Batting third, it's Zach Late. In the 4th spot, it's Trevor Schmidt, former SLO Blue. Batting 5th, it's Carson Case. 6th, it's Gavin Collins. 7th, it's Braden Grantham. 8th is Frank Estrada. And rounding things out in the 9th spot, it's Jimmy Zakar. Well, the Blues enter this game with a 5-3 conference record. The Sunrays with a 2-6 conference record. San Luis Obispo 12-5 on the year. Half a game back behind the Walnut Creek Crawdads. They fell down to that 2 spot after losing to the Sonoma Stompers in their last game and preventing the 4-game sweep against Sonoma. That gave way to the Walnut Creek Crawdads to take over first place after their 5-game winning streak. They have now taken over ahead of San Luis Obispo, but the chance to host a postseason game is still very much alive for the Blues. Of course, in the CCL playoffs, the winner of the North and the South Division will host their respective playoff games. And last year, it was the South team that hosted. Though not this year, it's the North. If the Blues can take over the North, they will host a game. As the throw down to second from Nico Button goes way over the head of Ardois. And he just wanted to get that one out of the way, folks. As for the San Diego Sunrays, if you missed it out on the pregame show, this is their first year in existence in the CCL. Called it an audition year, if you will. Not officially a part of the CCL South yet. An affiliate team making its first appearance at Sinsheimer with no home stadium in their first year into 2024 summer. So leading things off for the San Diego Sunrays, it's the outfielder Gabe Darcy. He'll face Jackson Howell, who comes set from the stretch and comes home. We are underway as first pitch swing is Darcy, and that's sent down the left field line. Rounding first and heading into second is Darcy. The throw from Blanchette comes in, and it will hit the cutoff man, and a leadoff double for the USD Torero and Gabe Darcy. And he got right after it, folks. He saw the first pitch fastball. He liked it a whole lot. He chopped it right to the right of Casey Borba over at third base. And he rolled around first for the leadoff double. So now batting second, it's Evan Rolbecki. He's the second baseman for the San Diego Sunrays. And he steps in now with a runner at second and Gabe Darcy. Howell takes a look at second, now comes home. First pitch swinging again, and he pops this one up out of play. No balls and 1 strike to Evan Rolbecki, the Charger from Cypress College. As a native of Bray, California, he's currently 4 of 21 in this young season for San Diego. 1 extra base hit. It's a double with 5 RBIs. Wants to get 6 right here and start things off for San Diego on a high note. Swings and hits this one hard down the left field line, but foul and out of play to Rolbecki. Well, Rolbecki last year with the Chargers at Cypress College. A 398 average, 441 on base, and a 608 slugging. That's a frightening slash line there for Jackson Howell, who is in his 4th start of the season for the Blues, after being named the opening day starter against the Coastal Dodgers back in Game 1. Here's the 0-2 to Rolbecki. Swung and chopped right in front of home plate. Nico Button's got it in foul territory, though. And Rolbecki won't have to walk back into the batter's box. 171 at-bats, 68 hits. 5 bombs, 17 doubles, and 2 triples. Pretty explosive year. His first time in junior college baseball. Still uncommitted, though, is the infielder from Brea, California, as he enters his sophomore year. 5 RBIs this season. Wants to pick up number 6 here with Gabe Darcy on second. He can't hold up his swing. He went around, and there's the first strikeout for Jackson Howell. Evan Robecki goes down on the check swing curveball in the dirt from Jackson Howell, and there's now one away with a runner at second base. It's the 3-hole hitter Zach Late playing first base today. One of the 3 left-handed bats for the Sunrays this afternoon, and they all come in a row. 3, 4, 5 are all lefties. But for Late, he just wrapped up his first season at Orange Coast Community College down there in Southern California as he hugs home plate. First pitch taken inside, off speed from Jackson Howell. 1 ball, no strikes to Late. Late grew up in Dana Hills, California, and in his first season with the Pirates down there at OCC, he slashed .333, .443, and .436. As Howell comes home on the 1-0, misses outside with the changeup, 2 balls and no strikes to Zach Late. Not the power numbers that we saw from Rolbecki, but it's still good enough to earn him a spot with the Monarchs at Old Dominion back there in Virginia Beach, the Division I program. Howell comes set. On the 1-1. Chopped on the right side. Jeffries has got it. Throw over to first is in time to get Late, but moving over to third base is Gabe Darcy. So now 2 gone here in the first inning. A Evan Rolbecki strikeout and a Zach Late grounder to second. And now it's Trevor Schmidt batting fourth for the Sunrays. And if that name sounds familiar to you folks, that's because, well, it should be, as he had a short stint with the Blues last summer and was one of the more productive hitters in the lineup. A guy that San Luis Obispo was looking forward to having on the roster for the entirety of the 2023 summer, but exited early in the season after playing in 11 games. So in those 11 games, he went 10 of 31 with 2 doubles, 7 runs batted in. 12 walks to his 8 strikeouts and a .323 batting average. A presence that was dearly missed throughout that season as he gets hit in the right arm with the fastball. Now a 2-out base runner for the Sunrays. Now runners at the corners for San Diego. As Schmidt, who stole just 3 bags with the Blues last season in his 11 games, is awarded first base. Caught stealing twice last year at Fullerton Community College with the Hornets. And now we'll pass it over to the 5-hole hitter Carson Case, who's a JUCO bandit himself down there at Santa Ana Community College. Here's the first pitch. Hit on the right side. Tarman drops to his one knee and taps first for the 3rd out of the inning. The Sunrays strand 2 runners at the corners as they get 1 hit off the Gabe Darcy leadoff double. We'll head to the bottom of the 1st. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom of the first here, back at Sinsheimer as the Blues stepping up now for the first time this afternoon. Let's take a look at 1 through 9 for San Luis Obispo. Back in the leadoff spot, it's E.J. Royal. Batting second, it's Braden Jeffries. Third, it's Jariah Lewis. Fourth, Casey Borba. Fifth, Nico Button. Sixth, Braden Mondu makes his return after his 4-game absence. Seventh, it's Zach Tollerman. Eighth, Gio Blanchette, the home run king. And rounding things out in the 9th spot is Sam Ardois, the shortstop from Louisiana. Fastball into E.J. Royal is taken for strike 1 on the inside corner. E.J. gets the start after taking the night off. Last game against the Sonoma Stompers, Braden Dowd took over in the 1 spot as Royal takes a look at the fastball. Upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Utah Tech Trailblazer, who has been the most productive hitter for the Blues this summer. And he gets hit on the elbow. Leadoff base runner for San Luis Obispo after Royal gets plunked. And now Braden Jeffries steps up to the plate. 2 hit by pitches already in this game between the 2 starters, Suspenzi and Jackson Howell, which, speaking of starters for the Sunrays, let's take a look at their entire starting lineup out there on defense. Behind the dish, it's Jimmy Zakar. Over at first base, it's Zach Late. Second, it's Evan Rolbecki. And at third, it's Braden Grantham. Shortstop, it's going to be Frank Estrada. And outfield left to right, it's going to be Gavin Collins, Carson Case, and Gabe Darcy. And on the mound for the San Diego Sunrays, it's Nicholas Suspenzi, the right-hander from University of San Diego. As Braden Jeffrey steps up and E.J. Royal takes off for second base, that ball is in play. A base hit for Jeffries. Regalado is giving the wave over to E.J. Royal. He's pumping into home. Here's the head-first dive. He's safe. RBI double from Braden Jeffries as he hit that one off the very end of the bat. Just snuck into fair territory. And with the speed of E.J. Royal, who was already taken off on the stolen base attempt, he's able to slide headfirst into home. 1-0 San Luis Obispo. It's a squibber, but it got the job done. Braden Jeffries continues to stay hot. His 6th RBI of the season and just 18 at-bats for the kid committed to Michigan. So now Jariah Lewis, the right fielder from San Jose State, steps up now with a 1-0 lead and a runner at second base. He swings and misses at the first pitch for a strike. Lewis trying to get things going here in his 2nd season in San Luis Obispo, batting .250 with 2 triples, 3 runs batted in. And he leads the team with 3 hit-by pitches. One of 3 left-handers in tonight's lineup for the Blues as he sends this one on the ground right side. Rolbecki's got it. Throw over to first is in time, but advancing to third base is Braden Jeffries after his RBI double. Now a runner at third with 1 gone for Casey Borba, the Longhorn from the University of Texas. First out of the inning comes from a Jariah Lewis ground out, but it advanced the runner from second to third, which makes the job of Casey Borba that much easier. Borba made his debut last game against the Sonoma Stompers. He went 1 for 4 with a double. He did strike out 2 times, though. A graduate of Orange Lutheran High School, where his dad is actually the head coach. And he looks at the off-speed outside. 1 ball and no strikes to the Longhorn. In his first season at Texas, a true freshman, he started in 20 games and appeared in 34 of them. Went 21 of 82. That's good for a .256 batting average. But the 7 doubles and 4 home runs beefed up that slugging percentage as he pops this one up in foul ground. Moving to his left is Suspensi, and he makes the grab, calling off late at first base. There's now 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. And, you know, if you're the head coach for the Sunrays, you got to have a talk with your pitcher and really your first baseman. Your pitcher cannot be making that play right there. That was Lates all day, and he could not get there in time, no pun intended. As Suspensi moved to his left and snagged it in foul ground. It's now Nico Button, the catcher, hitting in the 5 spot for San Luis Obispo. The Golden Bear swings and misses at the fastball right at home plate, chops it foul, no balls and 1 strike. Button, another late ad for San Luis Obispo, as he's made a pretty solid case for his spot at catcher for Dean Trainer's roster. 9 for 18 on the season so far with 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in. He swings and softly hits this one on the left side. There's the backhand stop from Estrada. He can't make the play. Coming in to score is Braden Jeffries. There's the second run of the game from the infield base hit by Nico Button. Now 10 of 19 on the season. Spinning ball to the shortstop and Estrada. He dropped to one knee and couldn't squeeze it, as trotting home was Braden Jeffries. And the Blues are ambushing the pitching from Suspenzi early on in this ball game. So now Braden Mondu, who's returning to the lineup after dealing with an injury, being hit by a pitch down at Eddie Matthews Field in Santa Barbara. First pitch swinging, chops this one on the left side. Estrada's got it. Throw over to second for the force out is in time, and the side is retired. But the Blues strike first, a 2-run inning off 2 hits for San Luis Obispo. We'll head to the top of the second. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Six, 7, 8 for the San Diego Sunrays as the Blues strike first in the bottom of the first inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and one runner left on base for San Luis Obispo. As Jackson Howell heads back out there, and he misses upstairs on the fastball for ball 1 to Gavin Collins, the left fielder, batting 6 for the San Diego Sunrays this afternoon. Collins, a Quaker from the University of Pennsylvania. Another fastball missing upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to the Bristol, Indiana native, who is currently 1 of 1 on the season. Small sample size so far. We're about 1/3 of the way through the 2024 summer. As Howell comes from the stretch, and there's a fastball, honing it in there for a strike. But last season, his first year out there in Pennsylvania, started in 41 games. Appeared in 42 of them, 274 average and 146 at-bats, a homer and 12 doubles. 2-1 is flared up and out of play for strike 2. 23 runs batted in on his 40 hits, a .366 on-base percentage. And he digs in now to the right-hander from Cuesta College. Howell yanks the slider outside. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gavin. Howell so far this season in 12 innings pitched, heading into this game, 11 strikeouts, 7 walks, a 1.5 ERA, and a 1.16 whip. Pretty good numbers from the Cuesta Cougar and former St. Mary's Gale. Here's the payoff pitch to the leadoff batter. Missing downstairs for ball 4. Leadoff base runner for the San Diego Sunrays. Second time they've had one this game. And now it's Braden Grantham, the third baseman, batting 7th for San Diego. And really that whole at-bat, Howell was struggling with his command. Just trying to find the zone. It was all fastball, fastball, fastball. Just wanted to get it over the plate. He struggled to do so. Ran out of time with the 4 balls. So now it's Braden Grantham. With his barrel that matches these fluorescent uniforms, as a huge hack at that first pitch fastball is missed for strike 1. And that just has to be addressed here. Look at these unis for the San Diego Sunrays. Talk about making a statement in your first year of existence. How about the flashy powder blue? Gotta love that, right? Howell, long hold on the rubber, now comes home. Fastball clipping the outside corner for strike 2. Now no balls and 2 strikes to Braden Grantham. We got the monochromatic tops with the pants, all powder blue. Bit of a retro look for the Rays. 70s. And sort of first is not in time. The shoulders and the arms are golden, and the piping on the pants are golden as well. With the Tampa, what would you call that, Spark Star in the middle of the A on the Rays. It's a good look, I think. 0-2. Swung and nubbed in front of the Blues dugout. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Blues rocking their classic Friday home unis. The fluorescent yellow tops with the old school scripture on the front that reads Blues. White trimmed in a thin blue piping. Off speed, has to duck out of the way of that one. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braden Grantham. Grantham, another Torero from the University of San Diego, entering his sophomore season after growing up in Mesa, Arizona. One-two, breaking ball, snapback throw to first is not in time. That off speed was called a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Grantham. Working himself into a solid at bat after falling 0-2. He's taken 2 balls from Jackson Howell, who, heading into his last start against the Foresters, had a sub-1 ERA. Some inflation there as the Foresters had a day against him. From the stretch on the left side, tough play for Ardois at short. He bobbles it, comes up with it, throw to first, and Tollerman can't pick it. The ball gets away, and the third base coach waves around Collins to come in to score. No one's covering home, and now the throw to Howell goes away, and a snowball fight ensuing as there's the first run for the Sunrays. So Ardois had a really difficult hop to play with over there at shortstop. Caught at a weird spot. Did a good job of staying with it, though. Rushed the throw just a tad. He skipped it over to Tollerman. He couldn't make the pick. Throw went away, and the third base coach waved around Gavin Collins. But the Blues forgot to take into account that someone has to cover home. So Jackson Howell ran over to the base, and then the throw to Howell got away. And now holding up at third base is Braden Grantham as he reaches on air. First pitch swinging to Frank Estrada is popped up in shallow left center. Ardois calls everyone off. Tagging from third is Grantham, and he retreats back to the bag off a nice throw from Ardois. There's the first out of the inning. Sunrays have a response after a snowball fight ensued in the infield, and Gavin Collins was able to walk in home at the vacant home plate. And now it's the catcher and Jimmy Zakar stepping up with the tying run just 90 feet away for San Diego. Corners playing in, 1 runner on third base, 1 gone here in the top of the second inning. Howell from the belt comes home, taken for strike 1 to Jimmy Zakar. Zakar just finished up his 2-year career at Irvine Valley College, entering his junior season as an uncommitted catcher. 0-1 off speed, missing downstairs, evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Growing up in Trabuco Canyon, California, he now plays for the San Diego Sunrays. the Road Warriors. As now the entire infield plays in. Toes on the infield grass. Tallman with a wide stance over there at first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tipped right at home plate, foul. Due to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 runner on third. It's Braden Grantham who reached on air. 2 errors. That brought home Gavin Collins to score. All this started with a leadoff base runner in that Collins walk. But Howell just got his first out of the inning with a pop out to Sam Ardois in shallow left center field. Here's the 1-2 from Jackson Howell, who takes a look at Grantham at third base. Off speed, just missing outside for ball 2. Went back at it with the slider, and I thought Nico Button did a good job of framing that pitch. As our TrackMan Technologies officially say it's a ball. So a good set of peepers there from Jimmy Zakar to leave that one with 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Off-speed pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. There's the second out of the inning as Jackson Howell threw a flying saucer up to Jimmy Zakar, and he whipped right through it for the second out of the inning. Real huge strikeout there from Jackson Howell with a runner on third base. San Luis Obispo still up by 1 run here in the top of the second inning. So now it's the leadoff man, Gabe Darcy, who was first pitch swinging on the first pitch of the day, chopped a double down the left field line, and was eventually stranded at third base that inning. The University of San Diego Torero, who spent his first season of college ball playing for Arkansas and the Razorbacks. As another breaking ball from Jackson Howell is in there for strike 1. Entering his senior season down there in San Diego, a native of San Clemente, California, ended the season on a 10-game hitting streak, which was the 3rd longest of any USD player. 10 of his 14 hits came in WCC play. There's a fastball from Howell. Nice placement for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Gabe Darcy. Takes his time getting back into the batter's box after 2 straight strikes. Wearing his white batting gloves, but has another pair of black ones in his back left pocket, just in case. From the stretch, 0-2, holds up his swing. Diving attempt from Nico Button, keeps it in front. Nice job on maintaining the runner at third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gabe Darcy. The right fielder batting leadoff for San Diego this evening. Looking to tie this game up. No hits in this inning, but 1 run coming across the board for the Reds. 1-2, swung on him, is strike 3. Jackson Howell gets his 3rd K of the evening as the Sunrays strand a runner at third base, but they do tack 1 off 2 errors from a Braden Grantham at bat. It's 2-1 Blues heading into the bottom of the second. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the second inning is brought to you by Apex Technical Sales. You can find them at glenair-apex.com. Apex Technical Sales. We're here to make you successful. Zach Tarman leading things off here for the Blues in the bottom of the second inning, 7-8-9 for San Luis Obispo. After the San Diego Sunrays have an answer for the Blues. 1 run on 2 errors and no hits this past inning. Snowball fight in the infield as Zach Tallerman 1-1 against Nicholas Suspenzi, who heads back out there for a second inning as Tallerman sends this one deep in the air to left field. Going back on it as Collins, and he'll make the running grab for the first out of the inning. Nice contact there from Zach Tallerman, a batter who is not known for hitting the ball in the air that often. Caught a hold of one there. As the 90-mile-an-hour exit velo from Tallerman sent that one deep in the left center gap. And it's huge out there, folks. 380 in that alleyway next to the blue bowl in left center. It's difficult to put the ball out there. As taking strike 1 is Gio Blanchette. Loud out there for the Blues. Nothing to hang your head over as Blanchette chops this one foul. No balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder from Fresno City College. This season, Gio is 6 of 22, and he leads the team in home runs with 2 bombs. And those 2 home runs, he's scratched across 6 runs and has 1 stolen base for San Luis Obispo. 0-2. Fastball taken for strike 3. Gio Blanchette goes down on 3 pitches, and all of a sudden there's 2 away here in the second inning. Caught the inside corner was Nicholas Suspenzi on Gio Blanchette, and the bat never came off his shoulders as he heads right back to the bench. So Sam Ardois, just a country kid from Louisiana, folks, digging in now, making his start at shortstop. He's 5 of 21 heading into this game. He's got 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in. Quickly working is Suspenzi, and Ardois surveys that one into right field, a base hit. Nice lumber from Sam Ardois, just putting a nice simple swing on it, going the opposite way. And a 2-out base runner for San Luis Obispo. So that'll flip it over to the top of the order to E.J. Royal, most dynamic hitter so far this summer for the Blues. And he steps up now with a 2-out base run at first base. Solid contact from Sam Ardois, who's now 6 of 22 this year. From the stretch, here's Suspensky. Royal looks at the fastball upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Last time EJ was up, he was hit by a pitch to lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. (1-0). Sent over the Blues bullpen for strike 1. E.J. Royal sending that foul ball to the right side. He's known to do that. In fact, in batting practice, he goes the opposite way so much they tease him about not pulling the ball. 1-1. Curveball taken inside to E.J. Royal. 2 balls and 1 strike. You got teammates chirping at him behind the batting cage bubble. Please, for the love of God, pull the baseball. And he did on 3 straight swings today. Gave a little fist pump, a yes underneath his breath. As the throw to first is not in time to get Sam Ardois. And some loud contact in the batting practice bubble for Royal when he would pull the ball. And that's what he wants to do here. Try to find a gap and keep things alive in the second as Ardois takes off for second base. Throw is way offline. It goes into center field. Pops up quickly on the slide and heads into third base. Sam Ardois on the throwing error goes first to third. And an extra insurance run for the Blues just 90 feet away for E.J. Royal. 3 balls and 1 strike to Royal. And he looks at the fastball downstairs for ball 4. Runners at the corners now for San Luis Obispo as they're trying to spark a 2-out rally after the Sunrays had an answer back in the first. Second time that E.J. Royal has reached base safely in this game in his 2 plate appearances. And now it's Braden Jeffries who struck first for San Luis Obispo with that RBI double back in the first inning. First pitch missing outside to Jeffries. 1 ball, no strike. Jeffries, one of the later additions to this Blues roster, has started things off quickly. 8 for 17 heading into this game, 5 runs batted in, and a mammoth home run down there in Compton in the MLB Youth Academy. Fastball barely misses him inside, and it runs into the backstop. Sam Ardois can trot home. There's the 3rd run of this game for the Blues. 3-1 San Luis Obispo. So a wild pitch from the San Diego Sunrays, and another run for the Blues come in. 3 runs on 3 hits. E.J. Royal moves up to second base on the pass ball. And Braden Jeffries, who wants to trade places for the 2nd time today. Back pick to second base, and that goes into the outfield. E.J. Royal can't stand up, though, as Estrada was straddling Royal as he was on the ground. E.J. kicks the dirt up in front of second base as he dusts himself off and thinks about the long night he'll have with the washer and dryer. Granted, it's plugged in. 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball in there for strike 1. Two and 1 to Braden Jeffries, the Wolverine, committed to Michigan next season. 2-1, missing outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to the infielder. One of the 3 left-handed hitters tonight for San Luis Obispo. Something that their lineup was missing for a majority of the beginning of the 3rd of this season. But as guys start to trickle in, there's some more dynamic looks in the starting 9. As shuffling at second is E.J. Royal, and taking ball 4 is Braden Jeffries. The 2-out rally stays alive with runners on first and second for the Blues. Back-to-back walks and 2 at-bats in a row where Braden Jeffries has reached first safely. It's now Jariah Lewis, who had a chopped grounder to second base for the first out of last inning. Pitching coach for the Rays heads back out there to talk to his right-hander. And yeah, he hasn't been great in the strike zone, but really their biggest problem has been the defense. Throwing the ball around, throwing it into the outfield. And really, it's been a problem for the Blues as well. I mean, just 1 error for the San Diego Sunrays, 2 for the Blues. We're not even out of the 2nd inning, and we've already seen 3 errors between these 2 teams. And I prefaced it on the pregame show, but this is one of the holes that San Luis Obispo has had this season, is not being able to play catch, whether it's in the infield or in the outfield. It's only gotten them into trouble 1 time with that 1 run that the Rays got last inning. And now their pitching coach for San Diego is trying to prevent that much more damage. And as Jariah Lewis, who leads the team in hit by pitches, steps up for the 2nd time today for San Luis Obispo. Runners on first and second. Blues have a 3-1 lead over the San Diego Sunrays. First pitch swinging is towered into center field. Moving to his right is Case, calling everybody off. But all of a sudden, Collins comes out of nowhere, and he can't come up with it. E.J. Royal was going full head of steam from second base as the ball gets away again from late, and another run comes in Braden Jeffries. And that's the base running you look for if you're a coach. No matter what, ball hit with 2 outs anywhere in the field, even if it's a gimme, even if it's a can of corn, you're running head down as fast as you can around the bases. And that's exactly what E.J. Royal did as he was standing on second base right as that ball dropped in front of Collins. 2nd error this inning for the San Diego Sunrays, and it brings across 2 runs off another throwing error that came to first and late. So bases clearing E7 for Jariah Lewis. As it's now 5-1 San Luis Obispo, and Casey Borba, who popped out to the pitcher, Suspenzi, digs in now, is taken off for third as Lewis, and that throw gets away. Lewis thought about heading towards home, but it stayed within the infield, and Estrada corralled it as Lewis scampered back to third base. 5 errors, and we're not even through 2 innings. Here's Borba with a runner on third base. Fastball skipping in front of Zakar. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Texas Longhorn. So that was Jariah Lewis's third stolen base of the year, as he's now on the bag at third, just 90 feet away from home. 1-1, taken downstairs to Casey Borba, now 2 balls and 1 strike. Borba from Santa Ana, California, was 21 of 82 his first year with Texas, and was the third best third baseman in the Southern California high school section, as he sends a base hit right back up the middle that will easily bring in Jariah Lewis. 6-1 Blues in the bottom of the second off the RBI single from Casey Borba. That's his second hit in a Blues uniform in as many games. Nico Button, another player who's seeing it well for San Luis Obispo, now steps up with a runner on first. And a 2-out nightmare for the San Diego Sunrays. First 2 batters retired. Zach Tollerman a fly out to left, and Gio Blanchette striking out. Those are the first 2 batters of this inning, and since then, 4 runs on 3 errors and 2 hits. Medium lead at first base for Borba, as chopping this one on the right side is Button, but foul. He taps his chest and sways his left hand in front of his body for a practice swing. Wanted to make some adjustments here. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Cal Berkeley catcher. Button didn't play his first year with the Golden Bears, but got a lot more action in his sophomore and junior season, starting in 12 games each. So he chops this one right at home plate foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Button. 12 starts his sophomore and his junior year. And in that time, he's strung together 24 hits, 3 of them doubles, 1 of them for a home run. He brought home 13 runs on those hits. The 2021 Sarah High School valedictorian in the left-handed batter's box with 2 gone. Here's the 1-2. Fastball taken for strike 3. Nico Button goes down looking, and the second strikeout of the day from Nicholas Suspenzi strands a runner on first base, but the Blues get 4 runs. It's 6-1 San Luis Obispo heading to the top of the third. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. A chaotic bottom of the second inning. The Blues get 4 runs on 2 hits and 3 errors from the San Diego Sunrays. They left 1 runner on in what is now a 6-1 ball game in favor of San Luis Obispo. Heading back out there is Jackson Howe, and he is in there. First pitch strike on the fastball. He'll face 2-3-4 for the Sunrays. Evan Rolbecki, Zach Late, and Trevor Schmidt. 5 errors, and we are just through 2 innings of this game. Off speed is popped up and out of play over the Blues dugout. Up quickly, no balls and 2 strikes is Jackson Howell, the 2-hole hitter for the Sunrays. Robecki, a Charger from Cypress College, entering his sophomore season after growing up in Bray, California. He's 4 of 21, a third of the way through the year for the Rays, and he sends this one on the ground left side. Ardois got it, few shuffles, throw on the move, and he gets it over to Tollerman in time to retire Robecki for the first out of the inning. 6-3 ground out from the second baseman from Cypress College, and now Zach Late steps up for the second time today. Last time he made a plate appearances, it was a grounder over to second base for the second out of the first inning. A former Pirate from Orange Coast College and a future Monarch at Old Dominion out there in Virginia Beach. Long ways from home in Dana Hills, California. First pitch, slider in there for a strike. Good speed from Jackson Howell. A flying saucer floating into the plate. I don't think Late was expecting that at all. As he holds his hand tight above his left ear on the 0-1. Nubs this one right in front of home plate. Button's got it right there. And tap foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Once again, very early on that slider. 2 in a row from Jackson Howell. Can't help but wonder what he's going to go here after throwing a pitch that's been very effective to Late this game. One of the 3 left-handed hitters for the Rays this afternoon. Here's the 0-2 from the Cuesta Cougar. Another slider swung on and missed, strike 3. 3 straight off speed from Jackson Howell, and there's his 4th K of the day and the second out of the inning. Zach Late goes down on strikes, and now it's the cleanup hitter Trevor Schmidt doing the DHing tonight for the Sunrays after spending part of a summer in San Luis Obispo last year. A former University of Arizona Wildcat, entered the transfer portal, found himself at Fullerton Community College, where he had himself a blast. First pitch swinging, here's a blast to right center field. Going back on it is Lewis, and it one-hops the wall. It goes over the wall, and it will be a rule book double for Trevor Schmidt. Loud contact off the bat for the LSU commit. 97 miles per hour, and it puts a dent out in the wood in right center. And that's a swing that Sinsheimer saw a lot last season through the first third of the year. 2 doubles on 10 hits and his 7 runs batted in for the Blues. Quite the asset offensively for San Luis Obispo. They certainly missed his presence, and he's given him a reminder right here with a 2-out double in the 3rd inning. So now it's Carson Case, who grounded to Zach Tollerman at first base last time he was up. Steps in now with a runner at second, trailing by 5 to the SLO Blues. First pitch missing inside from Howell, 1 ball and no strikes. Case from Santa Ana Community College, the uncommitted outfielder entering his junior year. After spending 2 down there in Santa Ana, Howell takes 1 look at second. Now comes home on the 1-0, misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. The bulk of his play coming in his final season at Santa Ana, 174 at-bats, played in 49 games. 50 hits in that time, 8 doubles, 4 home runs, and a triple. A .414 slugging on a .287 batting average. Standing up tall in the left-handed batter's box is Case as he awaits the 2-0, and it nearly hits him inside. 3 straight balls from Jackson Howell. This season with the Sunrays, he's 7 of 25. It's a .280 average, 3 runs batted in, 2 extra base hits, 2 doubles. Wants to get RBI number 4 right here as Ardois shows daylight back at second base and Howell steps off. The former Morro Bay High School Pirate hits reset after tossing the rosin bag on his right hand. Twirls the ball, now comes set on the 3-0. From the belt, this one swung on and sent straight back out of play. Swinging 3-0 is Carson Case and fouling it out. 3 balls and 1 strike. 5 walks to his 4 strikeouts this summer. This is Carson Case, seeing it awfully well as he awaits the 3-1 offering from Howell. 2 looks at second. Now comes home. Missing inside. That's ball 4. Back-to-back base runners for Jackson Howell as there's guys on first and second here for the Sunrays. 2 gone at the top of the third. Blues lead it 6-1 over San Diego. It's CCL action here at Sinsheimer. A cool summer evening in San Luis Obispo. Peaked out at 82 today. It's going to drop down below 60 tonight. How does that happen? Here's the first pitch to Gavin Collins, and it's swung on and tapped at home plate for strike 1. Collins led off last inning with a walk. He eventually came around to score on throwing error from the shortstop Ardois, and then one from Nico Button. Waves his bat above the top of his head on the 0-1. As Howell comes set, Howell delivers. Slider in there for a strike. Up 0-2 to Gavin Collins is Jackson Howell. Collins, the left fielder tonight for the Sunrays, and a rising sophomore at the University of Pennsylvania. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Trevor Schmidt threatens with his 2-out double, and then Carson Case with his walk, but they get stranded after Gavin Collins strikes out swinging on the slider from Jackson Howell. We'll head into the bottom of the third inning, 6-1 Blues. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the third inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. It's brought to you by Richardson. They're the official hat of the CCL. Both teams in tonight's contest will be wearing Richardson hats and will be doing so for the entirety of this season. Richardson, the official hat of the CCL. 6-7-8 for San Luis Obispo after they throw up a goose egg against the Sunrays in the last half inning. Jackson Howell in his third inning of work. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Trevor Schmidt launched a double into the right center gap. He was eventually stranded at second now in what is now still a 6-1 ball game. So it's Braden Mondew, the DH, stepping up, leading off things in the third inning. One of the staple hitters for the Blues this season with his .333 batting average as he fists this one down the right field line, moving to his left and can't make the grab as Late. As Late went to squeeze it, it slid out of his glove as he was sliding to his left. As a new life is awarded to Braden Mondew, who's 0 for 1 on the day after a fielder's choice ground out to short to end the first inning. Mondew, the DH, with 3 doubles on the season, 10 runs batted in off 12 hits. And he takes a look at the fastball, folds it up now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The new Vulcan for Hawaii Hilo. And he hits this one on the left side, through for a base hit. Leadoff single for Braden Mondew to get things going in the third. One on, no one out here for Zach Tollerman, who got started late in this season, but has been doing some damage down in the lower half of the lineup. Talked about it with Mark Robinson in the pregame. Really a 1 through 9, you can't catch a break. Pretty even skill level through the entirety of this Blues lineup. Not a lot of drop-offs. And Tollerman is the embodiment of that as he starts off the year 9 of 16 with 4 runs batted in, hitting in the 7-hole. Short lead from Mondu at first base as Tollerman squats in his stance and looks at the fastball just missing downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. ZT played his first 2 years of college at Cuesta and then committed to the University of California, Riverside, where he has since entered the transfer portal. As Zakar botches this one at home plate but keeps it in front. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tollerman. This is his 3rd year with the Blues. And after growing up in Berkeley, California, his parents have a place in SLO as he hits this one hard down the left field line, and that's a base hit. Braden Mondu thought about heading towards third after getting some momentum, and that throw goes over the head of Grantham. But there to back it up is Zakar. Runners at first and second for the Blues on back-to-back base hits.
Right now it's number 2, the left field.
104 miles an hour off the bat of Zach Tollerman. Yeah, he roped that one down the left field line. Shot out of a cannon and string together 2 hits for the Blues. It's Gio Blanchette. Went down looking on 3 pitches. Bat never came off his shoulders in the 2nd inning, and he swings and misses at the first offering here for strike 1. Shadows begin to engulf the mound where Nicholas Suspenzi is standing, making it a little difficult for hitters to see. Blanchette on the 0-1, swings and hits this one down the left field line, but foul and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to the former St. Mary's Gale. Like Tollerman, Blanchette also a returner to the Blues. He played for San Luis Obispo last summer. He was one of the 2 players to represent the Blues on the South team in the CCL Showcase down there in Compton, where it will be hosted again this season. 0-2. Fisted up and spinning out of play. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first and second. Back-to-back hits for the Blues as they have a 6-1 lead over the San Diego Sunrays. Here's Blanchette on the 0-2. Hits this one on the left side. Through for a base hit. Bad hop on Grantham. And holding up at third base is Mondu. Back-to-back-to-back hits for San Luis Obispo. And now it's Sam Ardois who had a base hit of his own last time he was up. Ardois, with his 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in this season, has the opportunity to bust this game wide open. He gingerly swipes the dirt off of the inside part of the batter's box as the catcher Zakar has a chat with Suspensky on the mound. 7 hits for the Blues in 2 innings. We're still looking for out number 1 here in the 3rd. 3 base hits in a row from the 6, 7, and 8 spots for the Blues. First pitch to Ardois, in there for a strike.
At the plate, Sam Ardois.
The shortstop batting 9th. Former UT Austin Longhorn turned Ragin' Cajun just a few weeks ago. 0-1, that misses downstairs. Off-speed pitched, 1 ball and 1 strike. Louisiana kid from Moss Bluff, ranked as the number 2 shortstop in the whole state by perfect game when he was in high school. Batted .320 or .310 with 8 doubles, 2 homers, 21 runs batted in. Late on the fastball as he sends it over the bullpen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was also first-team All-District player his senior season in Moss Bluff. And he awaits the 1-2 offering from Nicholas Suspensky, who comes through the windup with the bases loaded. 1-2. Check swing, and it's a blooper that will land foul over the head of Late. Indecisive hack from Sam Ardois, and it leaked over the head of Late in foul ground. New life here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases juiced for the Southern kid. Outfield at regular depth. Darcy hugging the line out and right. Swung on and missed. Elevated fastball for strike 3. 3 hits in a row, gets interrupted by the Sam Ardois strikeout swinging. And now that will flip it to the top of the lineup to E.J. Royal, who conveniently for the Blues leads the team in RBIs with 14 heading into this game. E.J. had the night off last game against the Sonoma Stompers, but he makes his return to the lineup with his team-leading 23 hits and his .434 batting average. There's a changeup taken for strike 1. Royal, like Tollerman, also a former Cuesta Cougar. He was first-team All-Western State Conference and won the Gold Glove Award out there at Cuesta. 0-1 is chopped, foul, down the third base line. No balls and 2 strikes to Royal. In his last season with Utah Tech, his first year playing Division I baseball. 28 hits and 114 at-bats, 16 runs batted in. Middle infield at double play depth with 1 out here and bases loaded. And Royal takes the off speed inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Awfully close to take there with 2 strikes, but E.J. Royal gets away with it. He gets another shot here on 1-2 to Suspensky. Corners playing in. Missing upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to E.J. After rattling 2 strikes in a row to Royal, he's awfully patient taking those 2 pitches, just missing out of the zone. As he awaits the 2-2. Missing downstairs on the fastball from Suspensky. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Braden Jeffries. He's 1 for 1 on the day, a walk and a double. Came around to score both times. Payoff pitch. Hit into center field. Going back on it is Case, and it will go over his head. Coming in to score is Mondu. Being waved around is Tollerman. And holding up at third base is Gio Blanchette on the 2 RBI double for E.J. Royal. He does his dance at second base. RBI number 15 and 16 and double number 5 for the kid from Utah Tech. .94 miles an hour off the bat of E.J. Royal. And it looks like Case misplayed it a bit out in center. Took a few steps in and got burnt running back. Dropped over his head on the running grab attempt. Busting this game open with now an 8-1 lead for the Blues is a 2 RBI double from E.J. Royal. This one's popped up and foul. Down the left field line for Braden Jeffries, who is 9 of 18 in this young season. 6 ribbies and a bomb. 0-2 with 1 gone. Missing outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third for San Luis Obispo. An 8-1 lead after a 2 RBI double from E.J. Royal. Kid has been unconscious for quite a while now. 1-2 to Jeffries is poked over the dugout of San Diego. 1 ball and 2 strikes again. 4 hits in this inning. 2 runs to show for it. And 1 out from a Sam Ardois strikeout. Suspensky climbed the ladder to him. Went after the fastball up at his eyes. Jeffries, the Michigan commit, digs in the left-handed batter's box. Open stance. Hands in front of his left pec. The Hart High School alumni swings and misses for strike 3. Second out of the inning, second K of the inning for Nicholas Suspensky. And there's 2 gone with runners in scoring position for the Blues and Jariah Lewis. Lewis grounded out to second and reached on error in the second inning. A drop fly ball from Collins moving to his left. And Lewis eventually came around to score on the RBI single from Casey Borba. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. Lewis wanted all that fastball. He saw it in all the way there. And he just wanted a feel-good hack at it. And the Spartan from San Jose State. Had 15 hits in his 78 at-bats last season. Takes a look at the off-speed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 gone, 2 runners on, and a 1-1 count to Jariah Lewis. Blues have an 8-1 lead over the San Diego Sunrays. 1-1 is popped up and fouled. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Lewis. Heading into this game, batting a .250 average. 2 triples, 3 runs batted in, and 3 hit by pitches. That leads the team. Here's the 1-2. Clips the outside corner for strike 3. So it looks like Nicholas Suspensky strikes out the side as the Blues strand 2 runners on, but the damage has been done. A 2 RBI double from E.J. Royal makes it an 8-1 ball game for San Luis Obispo. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning, and Ryan Giacomini joins me in the booth. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the order for the San Diego Sunrays after the SLO Blues tacked on 2 more runs from the 2 RBI double from E.J. Royal. 8-1 ball game at the top of the 4th inning as Ryan Giacomini joins me in the broadcast booth. He'll be with us through the rest of the way, giving us the color analysis as first pitch swinging at the fastball up at his eyes is Braden Grantham. I mean, Ryan, what do you think about that 3rd inning that we just saw?
That was the best inning the Blues have had so far. They just kept piling on the hits. Even though they got struck out, they struck out the side, I should say. Really good at-bats from Mondu, Tollerman, Blanchette, and E.J. Royal.
It really seemed like a sustainable business model for San Luis Obispo, stringing all those hits together. Yeah, that's going to get you some production, obviously. And one of the healthiest-looking offenses that we've seen all year. As taking a look at strike 3 is Braden Grantham for the first strikeout of the inning, and that's Jackson Howell's 6th of the day.
Jackson Howell's been doing a really good job out there on the mound. Gave up the 1 run, but it was unearned. 6 strikeouts he's been dealing to these Sunrays hitters.
And heading to this game, he had 11 strikeouts in his 12 innings of work. He had 6 heading into his 4th. Not a guy who's going to get you via the K, but he's done so this evening against San Diego as that slider just misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And looking at the TrackMan data, looks like a clip that outside corner. He doesn't get the call, and he comes back on the 1-0 to Frank Estrada. who looks at another slider in the same exact spot for strike one. One and one to the shortstop batting eighth for the Sunrays this evening. Cal State Fullerton Titan entering his sophomore season. Looks at that bounce pass for ball two. Coming set is Jackson Howe. On the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Elevated fastball. And he got Estrada to chase at it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Already given away a ton of hot sauce. Looking for one more right here.
2-2. Chopped right behind home plate. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the fans have already had their palates well stimulated in this first third of the game with those 6 strikeouts. Looking to continue the fun here in a packed house in a Friday night game at Sinsheimer. 2-2 to Howe, who hitches as he comes set. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt. Good block from Nico Button. Keep it in front. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Frank Estrada. Estrada leans back and wags his bat right next to his right ear on the payoff pitch. He chops this one foul down the third base line. Nice play from third base coach.
And he fired the throw back to Howell.
Okay.
Good play, good arm.
Take notes, Rene Regalado. Third base coach for the Slow Blues. We'll do it again on the 3-2 as Howell twirls the ball in his right hand and comes from the belt. Fisted, popped up, shallow right field. Jariah Lewis coming in on it, and he'll make the grab no problem for the first out or the second out of the inning.
All day, Howell's been either striking batters out or inducing soft contact. Gets the soft contact right there.
That's what he's done all season, minus the strikeout part. Typically, it's just been the soft contact that's been working for Howell. As it looks like we have a pinch hitter coming in for Jimmy Zakar, the catcher. Looks like it's Alex Zive replacing Zakar. And he takes a look at the slider, just missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Zive is the catcher, rocking number 34 from Cal State Chico, entering his sophomore season after growing up in Irvine, California. 1-0 is popped up into right center field. Lewis coming in on it, and he will make the grab for the third out of the inning. A little bit of a chest bump with his center fielder, E.J. Royal, and we'll head into the bottom of the 4th inning. 8-1 Blues. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Boost Streaming Network. Bottom of the fourth is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, we've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. New pitcher in for the San Diego Sunrays. It's Nicholas Suspenzi's day is done. 3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 8 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts for the right-hander, as now Makai Wright is in to replace him. Another right-hander coming out of the bullpen here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Not the outing that Suspenzi was looking for, giving up 8 runs in just 3 innings.
To say the least, but I don't think his defense really helped him out as well. You know, it's really difficult to win ball games when you're throwing up 3 errors. I mean, he gave up those 8 runs, but only 4 of them were earned. Lots of snowball fights happening around the infield. Didn't help out Suspenzi's case, as KC Borba takes a look at strike 2. Borba is 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI single in the 2nd inning. It's his first RBI of the year and his 2nd base hit. And he softly hits this one into shallow right. Rolbecki moves to his left, easily makes the play, spins it around, throws it to short for the first out of the inning.
Borba just had to protect there in a 2-strike count and hit it softly in the air right at the second baseman.
So now it's Nico Button. He's also 1 for 2 on the day. An RBI single of his own back in the 1st inning, and a strikeout looking to end things in the 2nd. Starting things off hot, the Cal Berkeley Golden Bear, who entered this game 9 of 18, swings and misses at the fastball. No balls and 1 strike. 9 of 18 with 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in, now 4 after his single in the 1st. He's got 1 stolen base. Fastball missing outside from right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 offering. Fastball down the middle of the plate, and Button gets a call there. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nico. The undeclared major at Berkeley, looking to get into economics. It's a 2-1 spoiled downstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. A little bit of a Central Coast connection as well. He's got a brother, Zach Button, older brother. He used to pitch at Cal Poly for the Mustangs, just a few minutes up the road from Sinsheimer. Fastball misses outside, and that's ball 4 to Nico Button. Reaches base safely for the 2nd time this evening, and now it's the 6-hole hitter, Braden Mondu, who singled to lead things off in that fateful 3rd inning for San Luis Obispo.
Mondu has been a really solid bat for the Blues all summer. Missed the last 4 games due to injury, but it's nice to have him back in the lineup and provide that bat, which it actually looks like he has a new bat, one he's been using in batting practice with that, I think it's like an amber red or maybe even an orange barrel.
First pitch to him is hit on the left side. Estrada's got it. Flip over to second for 1. Throw to first in time for 2. And the side is retired. Slow Blues inning comes to an end after a 6-4-3 double play from Braden Mondu and his shiny new orange bat. It's still 8-1 San Luis Obispo, heading to the top of the 5th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the fifth inning here at Sinsheimer, 8-1 ball game. SLO Blues lead the San Diego Sunrays in a CCL matchup. Jackson Howell heading back out there for his fifth inning of work after the Blues are retired on a pop out to second from Borba and a 6-4-3 double play from Braden Mondu. First pitch swinging down the right field line is Gabe Darcy, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Diving attempt from Jariah Lewis is not enough as Gabe Darcy cruises into second for his second double of the afternoon.
Gabe Darcy has really exploded the ball off the bat today. Both of his doubles have been really hit well. That one, he actually went the opposite way of the other one. He pulled the first one down the left field line, and that one slicing away from Jariah on the right field line.
And they went to check it to see if he missed first base. And Zach Tellerman having some words with one of the infield umpires. Went to touch first. They called safe. As the third base coach goes to take the shin protector off the leg of Darcy, as he's now chirping over there with Sam Arjois.
And we saw Tellerman miss first base the other day. He was telling us that whenever he's out there at first, he's always watching the bag, making sure that they're going to touch it, and that's why he went back even though he had an easy double a few days ago.
He's got the best angle on it, and especially when it happens to you and you play that position, your eyes are definitely going to be on the lookout for someone else doing that. Because for a second, I think he thought he could have gotten away with it, but some other set of eyeballs were saying, oh no, the field umpires definitely saw you not touch first base. 1-0, just missing downstairs from Jackson Howell. 2 balls and no strikes to Evan Robecki, who's 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout swinging and a ground out to short. 2 leadoff doubles for Gabe Darcy as he has a short lead at second base. Howell gives him one look, now comes home on the 2-0. This one's hit hard out to left field, deep in the air. Blanchette going back, fighting the sun, and he makes the grab on the back pedal. Tagging from second and sprinting into third is Gabe Darcy. Real nice speed from the fly out to left field by Evan Robecki.
That ball was crushed by Robecki. I thought that had a chance, but everywhere in this ballpark is just kind of a graveyard. It's really hard to hit the ball out here, especially that one was right at the 380 sign in left center. Blanchette made a good job fighting the sun and the lights that have already come on here in this early evening to make the grab.
Winds blowing west at 5 miles an hour, gusts up to 9 here in San Luis Obispo. Gives you an explanation as to how that ball got batted down as it was hot off the bat of Evan Robecki. Zach Late, the 3-hole hitter, with a flimsy swing and miss for strike 1 to Jackson Howell with a runner 90 feet away at third base. 1 gone here as Late is 0 for 2 on the day. Grounder to second and a strikeout swinging. 0-1, fastball just missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Howell's done a really good job working out of jams. He gave up the leadoff double to Darcy in the first and was able to get out of that inning unscathed, and then gave up a run in the second, but only on 2 errors.
1 ball, 1 strike. Tapped right behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. And can't forget recording the first 2 outs in the third inning. The ground out to short, and the strikeout swinging from Late, and then Trevor Schmidt launching a double to right center field, and then giving up that walk to Carson Case. The heart rate went up a little bit, but he was able to secure the strikeout against Gavin Collins. Just another clutch moment there from Jackson Howell, who's been having a pretty good outing so far, just holding these Rays to 3 hits and 1 run. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, dribbled on the right side. Jeffries has got it. Throw over to first is in time, but a run does come around to score. It's Gabe Darcy from third base. 8-2, San Luis Obispo Blues.
At this point in the ball game, you're trading outs for runs is totally fine. Still up 6 after giving up the RBI ground out.
Productive out there for the 3-hole hitter Zach Late and Trevor Schmidt, who had some loud contact last inning in the third. Digs in now here with 2 gone. No 1 on for the Rays. First pitch, he checks a swing, and it's in there for strike 1. Schmidt, a former Blue, played 11 games with San Luis Obispo last summer. He was an Arizona Wildcat at that time, but since entered the transfer portal and found himself at Fullerton Community College. Had a lot of fun there with a 343 batting average, a 451 on base, and a 700 slugging. 13 home runs, 14 doubles, and 5 triples earned him a spot with the LSU Tigers come fall.
Those numbers are otherworldly.
1-1, skipping in front of home plate. Good stop falling to his knee is Nico Button. 2 balls and 1 strike to the LSU commit.
22 extra base hits, 61 total hits, which means every time he comes to the plate, he's getting hit about a third of the time. And then of those hits, he's getting an extra base hit a third of the time.
Fastball clipping the outside corner. Schmidt doesn't agree with it for strike 2.
I mean, those numbers are crazy.
With the Hornets at Fullerton Community College and the Ivy outfield wall. Ball jumps there. 2-2, dribbled on the left side, moving to his right is Borba. Here's the throw on the run. That's how they do it in Texas. Throw across his body to retire Trevor Schmidt for the 3rd out of the inning. It's 8-2 Blues heading into the bottom of the 5th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the order for the San Luis Obispo Blues after giving up 1 run this past inning off an RBI ground out from Zach Late. He scratched across Gabe Darcy, who was electrifying on the base paths, and he eventually came around to score. And he takes a look at strike 1 here. Zach Tollerman, the first baseman from UCR. He's 1 for 2 on the day. A single back in the 3rd. He came around to score. Also flew out to left field on a ball that had a chance to get out for a sec. Here's the 0-1 to Tollerman. Slider taken for strike 2.
Off the fastball, working a similar tunnel. That's a tough pitch for Tollerman to get a hold of, even if he did decide to swing at it.
0-2, skipping in front of home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the 6'4" first baseman in the transfer portal. Yeah, you make a great point there, Ryan. That was real nice tunneling from the new pitcher, Makai Wright. That fastball and the curveball coming out of very similar arm slots, very similar spots at the strike zone as well. 1 breaks away, 1 stays down the middle. Here's the 1-2. This one's hit on the left side and under the legs of Grantham at 3rd. Caught a bad hop and it rolled right between the wickets.
Just having a rough day over there at 3rd. He had the nasty hop coming off that same lip that went straight up over his left shoulder, and then that one that kind of shot down under his glove. But you just got to go back to your fundamentals. You're taught from a young age at Little League. You start the glove on the ground and you bring it up. You don't start with the glove up in the air and try to spike down at the ball. There he started with it up, and when it's shot down on that lip, he was unable to make the play.
You're always taught ball first, and with the runner like Zach Tollerman, not a guy with blazing speed, you don't have to worry too much about quickly getting the ball up to your chest and making the throw. So you can try to make that play And, he was up on the infield grass as well, so he had plenty of time to do it. But it was a combination of either trying to get it off too quick or just catching a weird hop there in the infield. As Blanchette steps up now, he got a base hit in the third inning, and he fouls this one off down the third base line. 1 ball and 1 strike for the left fielder, batting 8th for the Blues.
Go as the sixth error of the game, 4th for the Sunrays. It's a really sloppy game for both teams defensively.
Wright checks his runner at first base. Tollerman standing upright on the bag. As this one's skipping at the feet of the new catcher in Alex Zive. And he holds Tollerman at first. 2 balls and 1 strike to Blanchette.
Got to hope everything's okay with Zakar. Coming out of the game in just the 4th inning is rare, especially for a catcher. Usually they play all 9 or sometimes a little less if, there's a matchup advantage.
Blanchette sends this one back up the middle. Making the stop is Robecki. Flip to first in time. Throw to second. Gets past, and Blanchette is heading towards second base. Tollerman has to shuffle out of the way. He slides with the pop-up. And there's a fielder's choice from Blanchette with a throwing error as Tollerman's retired over on second, and Blanchette calls time.
Back-to-back errors now. E5 on Tollerman and E6 is the reason Blanchette stands safely on second.
And that's 5 errors for the Rays in as many innings.
I understand they're a new team. First season, at least in the CCL, they're trying to get their feet under them, but these are the things they have to clean up if they want to be successful playing in a wood bat summer league in the state of California. You cannot have 5 errors.
Showing bunt and now pulling it back is Sam Ardois. And I don't think it's just for a wood bat league in California. I think in any league, you just simply cannot have 5 errors.
Yeah, and especially that one right there from the shortstop Estrada. He should have ate that up. The sliding play, there was no way he was going to get Blanchette at first. Should have just kept it and gave up the fielder's choice.
Slider there from Makai Wright, missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitcher warming up in the Blues bullpen. It's Jack Sand, the UW Husky, getting loose, left-hander. Skipping in the dirt and keeping it in front is Zive, picking up where Zakar left off. He holds up Blanchette at second base. Blanchette's got some wheels out there, too. If the ball skips away, wouldn't be surprised to see him get a nice jump over towards third base.
He does have a stolen base already this summer with the Blues and his limited action.
Here's the 2-1. Missing inside to Ardois. Now 3 balls and 1 strike to the Raging Cajun.
Blanchette's hitting .273, but 2 of his 6 hits are home runs, so he hasn't seen that much time out there on the base pass. Seen a little bit today now with a base hit and a fielder's choice, however.
Getting some reps out there at second as Ardois takes a look at the second strike fastball. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
See if he challenges him here with the top of the order, due up, but the open base at first.
Wouldn't be surprised on the scouting report to see that elevated fastball again to Ardois. Seems to go after that with 2 strikes. Elevates this fastball, but Ardois sends it deep into center field, going back his case, and he makes the running grab as Blanchette tags from second and advances to third on the fly out from Sam Ardois, and as there's 2 outs in this inning.
Productive out, a good barrel there from Ardois, got it all the way back, just maybe 10 feet short of the warning track. Now it's up to E.J. Royal, who's been on base all 3 times and has 2 RBIs already today.
He has been the whole offense for the Blues this summer, absolutely feeling himself in that bright yellow uni, and he wants to make it hurt that much more right now and collect his 17th RBI this season. First pitch is chopped on the left side. Moving to his right is Estrada. Here's the throw, and can't scoop it, is late at first base. Another run for the Blues come in to score, and it's 9-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's an infield base hit for E.J. Royal.
I think that officially is actually going to go down as an E6. As the throw was low, it beat E.J. in plenty of time. but first baseman couldn't scoop it out of the dirt. The second error on Estrada this inning.
And it's just not going to get it done. 6th error of the evening for the Sunrays. As missing downstairs to Braden Jeffries is Makai Wright. Jeffries is 1 for 2 on the day, a RBI double in the first inning that brought across E.J. Royal for the first run of this game. And then a walk in the second. He scored on that to the Jariah Lewis error in left field. And a strikeout swinging last time he was up. Throw over to the first, not in time to get Jeffries. Excuse me, E.J. Royal, who reached on error the second one of this inning. 2 gone here in a 9-2 ball game. SLO Blues lead the Sunrays at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Suns slowly dropping behind Cerro San Luis. Nice swing from Jeffries into center field, falling fast, but getting there in time is Case to squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. The Blues strand a runner on, but they tack on 1 run. And it's a 9-2 ball game heading to the top of the 6th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for the Blues. It's Jack Sand, the UW Husky, making his 2nd appearance as Jackson Howell's day has come to a close. In 5 innings of work, he allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts for the kid from Cuesta College. Another solid outing here for the opening day starter for the Blues.
Yeah, really good outing from Jackson Howell. Just gave up the 1 earned run. Was really dominant with his fastball and off-speed pitch mix. And he'll pass it Jackson to Jack.
There you go. Jack made his first appearance with the Academy Barons not too long ago, and now he steps in here for the Blues in to relieve Jackson Howell. Sand, last time he was up, this is actually his 3rd appearance coming out there. He has 3 innings of work, has only given up 2 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. No earned runs, might I add, in that time as well. The UW Husky entering his sophomore season.
He pitched on Saturday in Sonoma after Cody Albright went 6 innings. He threw 2, gave up no runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts.
And I love this tidbit. I talked about this when he first entered the game against the Academy Barons for his first inning of relief. His parents won the silver medal at the 1998 World Figure Skating Championships, and they also won 2 bronze medals as well.
Wow. Just a family of athletes.
Right? That's some agility, man.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the figure
Yeah.
skaters.
And baseball's a hard sport, but figure skating might give baseball a run for its money because that is, I mean, skating alone is not
Skating
easy.
alone.
And then you're dancing and twirling. I don't know. I can't do it.
I can give you a straight line.
I
I can give you a nice turn.
I don't know if I could give you that. I am not a skater.
You can give sweaty palms desperately grasping to the,
The
to the rail. Yeah.
And then when it comes off the railings, usually they end up on the ground, trying to hold myself from face planting on the ice.
So it's 5-6-7 for the San Diego Sunrays. As Carson Case takes a look at strike 1 against Jack Sand. A new relief pitcher here for the San Luis Obispo Blues in an air of some pretty elite figure skaters. Here's the 1-1. Nice slider in there for strike 2.
That was gross. Had to have tons of movement on that thing. Just started right at the hip of the batter, Case.
21 inches of horizontal break for Jack Sand. Yikes.
Filthy.
Here's the 1-2. Another slider, and that's taken for ball 2. Man, another real close call there. Jack Sand wanted that one. He was ready for the infield to throw it around, but he'll step back on the rubber. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carson Case.
I don't understand how Case takes that pitch after seeing the one previous.
Here's Sand on the 2-2. Same exact pitch, taken for strike 3. Filthy slider sits down Carson Case for the first out of the inning and Sand's first strikeout of the evening.
3 sliders back to back to back. Didn't get the call on the 1-2 pitch, then throws an identical pitch that hits the same exact spot and gets the call.
So now after seeing the left-handed Carson Case, it's now the right-handed Gavin Collins. Left fielder batting 6th for the Sunrays, as there's another slider from Sand. Taken for strike 1.
He's feeling that pitch right now. That one had a ton of movement as well and caught the outer part of the plate.
If you're getting 20 inches of horizontal break, I don't blame you for going back to that. He actually goes fastball here as this one's spoiled up. Still in play for Tollerman to grab, but he can't get there in time. No balls and 2 strikes to Gavin Collins, the left fielder, who's 0 for 1 on the day. A strikeout swinging in the 3rd to end the inning. And a leadoff walk in the 2nd. He came around to score off 2 throwing errors from the Blues. The only 2 errors they have this game, compared to the 6 that the Sunrays have. Combined 8 heading into the 6th inning. Sand from the windup on the 0-2. Actually goes fastball here and skips in front of Nico Button. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I got to say that 0-1 pitch was a really good job setting up that fastball. He went 4 straight sliders, 3 of which came to the batter before Case, but Collins had to have seen them on the on-deck circle. Then he goes slider again for a strike and then just hammers the fastball in Case, and Collins was so late on it.
Another slider going upstairs to Gavin Collins for strike 3. Swings and misses at that hanger up in the zone. There's 2 gone here in the 5th inning.
Jack Sand is just pumping the strike zone. He came into this game averaging 15 strikeouts per 9 innings, and he's keeping that up today with striking out the first 2 batters he's faced.
7-hitter and Braden Grantham, 3rd baseman, who is 0 for 2, reaching on error and striking out looking today. There's a fastball clip in the outside corner for strike 1. And Sand was the number 15th ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of California by perfect game.
And Sand kind of landed weird there and took a little lap around the mound. Button goes out to check on him, just make sure that everything's all right.
Everything seems to be okay as he digs back into the mound. The UW Husky, who appeared in 8 2/3 innings in his true freshman year, held it down to a 5.19 ERA. 13 strikeouts in those 8 2/3 as he gets a check swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. 1 ball and 1 strike to Grantham.
Really good pitch there by Sand, and what he's going to see, even though he didn't get the strike, is that the batter Grantham triggered. He knows that he's looking for the slider. Would it be surprised to see heater in or go back to the slider again?
Goes to the slider, goes off the shin guard of Button, skips away. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Grantham.
that pitch Grantham didn't trigger on, that one was a little less competitive because it started below the strike zone. So he knew fastball or not, there was never going to be a chance for it to find the zone.
Grantham chokes up on the bat, bends at his knees a little more than he was earlier in this AB, and awaits the 2-1 from Sand. This one's popped up and out of play, out of the stadium. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The hitter's just so concerned about that Sand slider, just really late on the fastball.
Deep breath from Jack on the mound as he buries his chest in his red glove. Now comes through on the windup in the 2-2. Just slips on that slider outside. Good sliding stop from Nico Button. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone here. Top of the 6th inning, Blues lead the San Diego Sunrays 9-2. 3-2 count here to Braden Grantham. Payoff pitch from Sand. Here it comes. Missing inside for ball 4. Braden Grantham had to dodge out of the way of that one. And a 2-out base runner for the Rays.
Sand just lost a little bit of his control there through 3 sliders that never touched the strike zone. Easy takes for Grantham to give a 2-out base run.
So after the Grantham walk, it's now Frank Estrada, the shortstop, batting 8th. Stepping in now for the Rays. As that was Jack Sand's 4th walk of the year. As first pitch swinging is sent up and out of play. Foul. No balls and 1 strike. Estrada 0 for 2 on the day. Pop out to short and a pop out to right field. Now he's here in the top of the 6th with a runner on first. Sand from the stretch gets the soft contact over the short. Ardois got it on the easy hop. He'll throw it over to second for the 3rd out of the inning. Jack Sand, 2 Ks, strands a runner on the ground out from Frank Estrada. It's 9-2 heading into the bottom of the 6th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the 6th inning is brought to you by Plan Perfect. Be sure to contact Sherry Tollerman at planperfectretirement.com. Plan Perfect, corporate retirement plan specialists. Middle of the order for the Slow Blues, 3-4-5, Jariah Lewis, Casey Borba, then Nico Button. Starting things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 9-2 ball game over the San Diego Sunrays. Jack Sand just came out in relief for Jackson Howell. Had a pretty solid day, 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. 2 runs as Lewis pops this one playable in the infield. Estrada calls off Grantham, and he squeezes it for the 1st out of the inning. Pop out for Jariah Lewis. He's 0 for 4 on the day. So a quick out here from Makai Wright, who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work. It's now Casey Borba. He's 1 for 3 on the day, an RBI single, a pop out to the pitcher in Suspenzi, and a pop out to second base in Rolbecki.
Every Blues batter has reached base safely today. All batters except Jariah Lewis have a hit. They're putting it together offensively.
Borba looks at the off speed for strike one.
I think the craziest part about what I just said is that the team has 8 hits. 8 players have hits. So nobody has 2 hits. Only one person has 0. They're all just 1 hit except Jariah.
And Borba is looking for his second right here with 1 out in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-1 to Casey. Fastball missing outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. A bulk of the hits coming in the 3rd inning. 4 of them good enough to bring across 2 runs for the Blues. 2-1 to Borba. Slider in there for strike 2.
Although scoring in the last inning, Blues don't have a 5th since that 3rd inning where E.J. Royal had a 2 RBI double.
Here's the 2-2. Borba softly hits this one into right field. Coming in is Darcy, and he stumbles and can't make the play. There's the second base hit for Casey Borba. And now a base runner on first with 1 gone.
Didn't hit it hard, didn't have to. Just found a piece of outfield grass. Was slicing away from Darcy. Got it down for Nico Button, who's been swinging the bat really well so far this summer.
And Darcy's a kid with some serious speed. We've already seen him on the base paths and the way he's ran out there in the outfield. Even then, I'm not sure that's a ball he could have gotten to without the stumble over there in right field. Just perfectly placed it as the ball skips away and Casey Borba takes off for second base. Great read on the downward angle from Makai Wright and a stolen bag for Casey Borba.
Yeah, really good read by Borba. He saw the catcher Zive go into his blocking stance and then saw it scored away behind the feet of Button and took advantage.
1-0 to Nico, misses outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes to the San Mateo, California native. He's entering his senior season at Berkeley. He's played in 2 seasons with the Golden Bears. Didn't play his freshman year. And it's a 2-0. He's taken outside corner for strike 1. Started in 12 games in both his sophomore and junior seasons. Saw some improvement this past year with his 15 hits and 47 at-bats. Another fastball missing outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Nico Button, who batted .319 past season up in Berkeley. 1 home run, 9 runs batted in, and 2 doubles. At second base, it's Casey Borba off the stolen bag and the dirt ball read. As the 3-1 misses outside, there's a walk to Nico Button. His second walk of the day and his 3rd time reaching base safely with 1 gone in the 6th inning.
Button having a really good day up there at the plate, just seeing the ball really well like we know he can. Came into this game with just 18 at-bats, but had 3 walks and just 1 strikeout.
Keeping those K numbers down as he hands it off now to Braden Mondew. Batting 6th tonight for the Blues, one of the more consistent hitters on this San Luis Obispo roster with his .333 batting average, 3 doubles, 10 runs batted in off 12 hits. He's 1 for 3 on the day, grounded to short on the fielder's choice, a single where he came around to score in the 3rd, that's how he led off the inning, and a double play to end things in the 4th. First pitch slider, missing upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Mondew, a recent commit of Hawaii Hilo for the Vulcans after spending the first 3 weeks of the summer in the transfer portal after his lone season at BYU where he exercised his red shirt. Nubs this one right at home plate, rolls down the first baseline foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mondew. Tonight's DH from Tucson, Arizona. A former player at Pima Community College where he won the 2023 ACCAC Regional Championship. Entering his senior season, heading to Hawaii. 1-1. holds up his swing on the slider that misses outside. They appeal over to first. They say he went around.
Very close call there on the check swing. First base umpire says he went around.
I just don't know about that.
Me neither. We don't have the greatest view up here, but we do see a little over-the-top view, which gives us a little advantage, and I don't know if that barrel came around.
1-2 missing upstairs. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mondu.
Regardless of the count, Mondu is a great two-strike hitter. He can get it done if it's 3-0, 0-2, 2-2. He's really good at getting the barrel on the ball.
Missing on that one, loads it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Braden Mondu, who has 10 strikeouts on the year compared to his 9 walks. Pretty solid ratio there for the infielder and future Vulcan. Taking off towards third, a double steal for the runners, and there's a walk to Braden Mondu. Fills it up now to Zach Tollerman, who's 1 for 3 on the day. A single back in the 3rd inning. He came around to score.
Tollerman has hit for average really well so far this summer. 1 for 3 on the day. Came into this game batting .563, but does not have an extra base hit. And he doesn't have a ton of RBIs, just 4 RBIs on his 9 hits.
Tollerman, a guy who's been hitting the ball awfully hard this season. That single back in the 3rd inning was coming off the bat at 104 miles an hour down the left field line. Smoked. Sounded like a gun coming off the barrel. And that's the look we've been getting at batting practice from him as well. I think one key that I've talked about on the broadcast a few times compared to last season, he's putting a lot more balls in the air. It seemed like a lot of times in his at-bats with the Blues in 2023, he was chopping it directly into the ground. Now, the trend is still living there for the most part, but he's slightly gotten those exit or the launch angle numbers up a little bit, i.e. that line drive we saw in his second at-bat.
Yeah, definitely has a few line drive singles that have been pretty well hit this summer.
First pitch breaking ball, missing upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes to the first baseman, former UCR Highlander, now in the transfer portal.
Said he had some contacts he was going to reach back out to, Murray State, Southern Illinois, if I remember correctly, as well as some others. Looking to get some playing time his senior year.
1-0, missing outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
And enjoy that last year of college baseball.
I believe San Jose State was also in the mix as well.
Yeah.
He's got the resume.
Especially if he keeps it hitting the ball like he is this summer. Teams will shoot their eyes open at that .500 batting average.
2-0, sent straight back into the netting, 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he's just one of the 4 players in Cuesta College history to be named All-State twice. And he was named the Western State Conference Player of the Year in 2022 for the 2nd straight time. He led the team with a .367 batting average and had a .500 even on-base percentage, which also led the team, obviously. His 2nd year playing with Cuesta. That one's in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tollerman. Played in 21 games last season for the Highlanders. He had a .230 average, 2 home runs, 5 doubles on 17 hits, with 10 runs batted in. Clearly can get it done at a Division I level as well. 2-2, sent straight back as he fights off the breaking pitch. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, red hot at the JC level, then goes to the Division I level. Not as good, but still a really solid year. They put it together. I mean, a .378 slugging is solid for a guy who only got 74 at bats. Didn't really have a good chance to show it off. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs.
It's a big field out there at Riverside as well.
Yeah, it is.
Hard to put it out. Time is called at home plate by Tollerman. As he taps the dirt underneath his cleats at home and takes a deep breath. Digs back into the end of the right-handed batter's box. Sprawled out, filling out the entire chalk rectangle on the 2-2. Missing way outside. Good backhanded stop from Zive. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tollerman. Entering his redshirt senior year with eligibility left. And he's here with bases loaded in a 9-2 ball game. Payoff pitch, missing outside. And Makai Wright just walked in a run for the Blues, the 10th of this game.
Good at bat there from Tollerman. We see why that on base percentage at Questo is 500. Just a really good eye up there. And then when he does get a pitch to hit, he swings hard.
3 walks in a row to Makai Wright as the pitching coach for the Sunrays heads out there to talk to his right-hander. And I believe his day is done. Pitching change for San Diego as we head into a break. Stay with us on the SLO Blues streaming network.
That was Makai.
All right, it's a new pitcher here for the San Diego Sunrays. It's Andrew Meehee coming out of the University of Pennsylvania, entering his sophomore season for the Quakers. It looks like Makai's right. His day is not all that complete in 2 1/3 innings pitch. He allowed a hit, 4 walks, and 0 strikeouts, and 3 of his runners are on base right now. And what's a tough situation here for Meehee to get out of with 1 out here.
Giovanni Blanchett looking to do damage with them loaded against the new pitcher.
And he misses 2 balls and no strikes to Blanchett, who is 1 for 3 on the day. A single back in the 3rd. He was stranded at third base. Strikeout looking and reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Advanced on the base pass on a throwing error. Holds up his swing on that fastball in there for strike 1. 85 miles an hour from the Ivy Leaguer. From the stretch, here comes Meehee on the 2-1. And that hits Blanchett in the back. Hit by pitch brings another run around for the Blues. It's now 11-2 SLO.
CCL baseball. 3 walks and a hit by pitch. That's 2 RBIs and 2 runs for the Blues. I mean, those line scores up there are quite frankly ugly, to say the least. 6 errors for the opposing team, 2 for the Blues, and then both teams have a combined 11 hits, or 12 hits, but there's 13 runs scored in this ballgame.
Interesting box score so far. just over halfway through this ball game. The sun has officially set in San Luis Obispo. That means the moon is coming out soon. Stay tuned. 1-0 to Sam Ardois, taken for strike one. Ardois 1 for 3 on the day, a single in the second, strikeout swinging, a fly out to center in the fifth. Bases loaded to Sam. 1-1 pitch taken down the middle. Fastball for strike two.
A good spot for Ardois, who has been a little shaky to start the season. Came into this game just a touch under 240. Has a hit today, but it'd be a good at bat to get his feet under him.
And that one hits Ardois in the back. Andrew Meehee, after coming out to relieve Makai Wright, hits back-to-back batters and brings across 2 runs for the Blues.
Base hit, walk, 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 hit by pitch, hit by pitch. Now it's the dangerous E.J. Royal.
Royal wants to make it hurt that much more, as he's 1 for 2 on the day. He was hit by a pitch himself to start things off in the bottom of the first. And he walked in the second, that RBI double in the third, and reached on air in the fifth. Now he steps up for the 5th time today. That fastball nearly hit him. He dodged out of the way of it. 1 ball, no strikes to EJ.
You know what game this reminds me of? Opening day against the Coastal Dodgers.
Was just thinking about that.
Yeah. You had 3 straight hit batters in the 6th inning of that game, and then a walk, a triple, a ground out, a walk. The 6th inning was ugly and took about an hour, it felt like.
That game was defined by the hit by pitch. I'm going to say only, in context here, only 3 hit by pitches in this game as Royal chops this one on the left side. Nice hop over to Estrada, flips it over to second for 1, and can't even get to first in time to get Royal. A run does come across to score. It's now 13-2 Blues off the fielder's choice from E.J. Royal.
Tough play for Estrada. A chopper. He was either going to have to charge it and make a tough play or sit back on it and make an easier play, but probably not be able to turn 2, and he took the latter option, an RBI ground out for E.J. Royal.
So now 2 gone here in the 6th inning, and the ball gets away from Zive, as holding up at third base. This is the runner in Sam Ardois. One 1-0 count here to Braden Jeffries. Missing inside, but stopping it on the backhand is Zive. Now 2-0 to the future Michigan Wolverine. Fans filling out the orange seats. The closest you can get to the field here at Sinsheimer. While kids play in the grass. And the fastball clips the outside corner for strike 1 to Jeffries. Today is Friday, so no special events happening this evening besides just your regular fun at the park for Blues baseball. As Jeffries spoils this one back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But tomorrow is Froze Saturday.
That it is.
Brand new addition to Sinsheimer this season. Frozen rosés. That's what a froze is, folks. They're delicious. Tried them on the broadcast a few weeks ago. Just a tiny sip. It was very good. This one's sent the other way. That's a base hit. It's going to bring in a run for the Blues. RBI single from Braden Jeffries. That's his 2nd RBI and his 2nd base hit of the day. Rising freshman at Michigan coming through for San Luis Obispo.
Really good piece of hitting. Just took that fastball on the outside part of the plate, sat back in it, and slapped it the other way. Pretty solid contact. 85 miles an hour off the bat. It's a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes.
Jeffries has really impressed me into this season. He wasn't one of the guys that was there on opening day. It took him a while to head over here to San Luis Obispo, but ever since he's joined the squad, with his youth, he's just really had an impressive outing here playing with all these older guys. He doesn't have a college at bat yet.
Yeah, 471 coming into this game, and he has a pair of hits, including a double in this game.
Broken bat for Jariah Lewis on the left side. Slow roller flipping over to second is Estrada, and Robecki was off the bag. Estrada thought about going over to first to get Jariah Lewis, But then you remember there was an easy flip over to second. Obviously not that easy as the toss moved Robecki off the bag. And the inning stays alive with the bases loaded off a broken bat from Jariah Lewis.
Yeah, and Estrada just pump faked to second baseman. He looked at first, pumped like he was going to throw to first, and then was like, oh, why don't you have it over there at second, Robecki? And Robecki wasn't on the bag at that point. Another error.
So now it's Casey Borba, who is 2 for 4 on the day. 2 singles, one of them good for an RBI. Stolen bag and scored a run as he takes a look at strike 1. And he's 6 for Jariah Lewis. That's the second time he's reached on air today. As Royal sits at third and Jeffries now at second. Slider just misses outside to Borba. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Blues have had 9 base runners reach base safely this inning. 1 hit. 2 hits, excuse me.
Lewis still looking for his first as he reaches base safely for the second time today. As you said, every hitter for San Luis Obispo has reached base safely this evening, and Jariah is the only one to do it without a hit. 2 errors put him Lewis on the base paths. Bases loaded, 14-2 game. Blues over to the Sunrays. Taking all the way on that off speed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck, it's Nico Button wearing the shin guards. From the stretch, now from the belt. Fastball pulled downstairs, fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Casey Borba. Infield playing back, corners in. 2 runners gone, bases loaded. Runners take off, swinging and chopped on the left side. Grantham's got it. Throw over to first in time to get Casey Borba. And the side is retired. A 5-run inning for the SLO Blues. We'll head into the final third of the game. 14-2 Blues. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Jack Sand back out there. He'll face 9-1-2 for the San Diego Sunrays. A 14-2 ball game. SLO Blues lead it over San Diego in this CCL play. At Sinsheimer Stadium, the lights are in full effect. The temperature is dropping like crazy. And the UW Husky sends back out there for his second inning of work against the catcher and Alex Zive, who came in to replace Jimmy Zakar. As he's up 0-2 early on the catcher from Chico State. Another blow-up inning for the Blues, a 5 spot. And the bottom of the 6th inning. As the sliders hit softly on the right side, Tallman drops to his knee, flips it over to Sand at first. He wins the foot race for the first out of the inning.
Good hustle by Sand to get over to first base. Makes Tollerman's job way easier rather than having to field it and then hustle over to first base.
Good hustle as he sprints back towards the mound, and they'll flip it over to the top of the lineup. And Gabe Darcy, the right fielder who's 2 for 3 this afternoon, 2 doubles, came around to score on one of them in the 5th inning. Just 1 of 2 runs for the San Diego Sunrays tonight. And those 2 doubles sandwich a strikeout in the 2nd inning to end that frame. And Darcy has shown a lot of tools here in this ball game. As he looks at the fastball for strike 1. He's shown the hit for power tool, the hit tool, whose first pitch swinging on the first pitch of the game. A double down the left field line. He showcased his speed on the base paths. Made some nice plays in right field as well. Slider pops out of the hand, just missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Jack Sand. Darcy playing for San Diego as a native from San Clemente. Heading to this game, he was 2 for 23 as he chops this one to the left side. Borba plays it on the back hop throw to first is in time to retire Darcy for the 2nd time today.
Borba showing off the cannon there.
Yeah, that was a missile.
Yeah, he let that second hop come and then just hosed it over to Tollerman at first.
And he took it a few steps back as well. You're moving away from first base. You have to regroup all your momentum to go towards the bag. That's exactly what he had to do, and it was a frozen rope to Tollerman right in the chest for the 2nd out of the inning. First pitch swinging, broken back off the glove of Sand. Ardois goes to retrieve it, but reaching safely is Evan Rolbecki. That's his first base hit of the day. Tough play from Jack Sand to make. Went right off his glove on the comebacker. Ardois couldn't get there in time.
What I like there from Sand, though, is the awareness to get his glove up and knock it down. If he doesn't, that ball is a base hit back up the middle. By knocking it down, he's giving his middle infielders a chance to make the play, or even himself if he knocks it down, like right in front of him or around the mound.
So some firewood for Rolbecki, as there's 2 outs here and a runner on first for Zach Late, who's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout swinging. Throw over to first from Sand is not in time.
That's the best kind of firewood, one that results in a base hit.
One would say it died a hero.
Absolutely did.
When you're trailing by 12 runs, it's a little difficult to say that, however.
Maybe it's the start of a rally.
Fastball just missing outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Zach Late. Late heading to this game, 4 of 5. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. The Orange Coast College Pirate going to Old Dominion across the country next season as he fouls this one straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Virginia Beach. Just a cool 3,000 miles away from home in Dana Hills. He'll be playing Division I baseball for the Monarchs. Sand checks the runner. Long hold. Now comes home. This is it downstairs. Nico Button smothers it. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Button is a great backstop. He just does not let anything ever get by him. No pass balls, no wild pitches tonight.
Good looks as well from Jackson Howell and Jack Sand, too, as this one spoiled off to the right. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both pitchers have been awfully efficient in their outings. It's only taken 2 this evening for San Luis Obispo. And the other night against the Stompers, it took him 2 as well from Logan Groff and Hunter Hammond. Been easy work for Dean Traynor. Not having to do too much bullpen management in those 2 games. The same sentiment here with a huge lead in the 7th inning. And now a 3-2 count to the 3-hole hitter, Zach Late. First baseman in his past season with Orange Coast, 26 hits and 78 at-bats. Payoff pitch, fisted on the right side. First base coach bobbles it and gets it over to Sand. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cotton candy sky here at Sinsheimer, looking off to the south. Very faint lavender hues with some blue. As the 3-2 is dribbled on the left side, moving to his left is Borba. Here's the throw on the run. Tollerman picks it, but he's off the bag. Acrobatic play, attempt I should say, from Casey Borba. Good scoop from Zach Tollerman, but he couldn't keep his foot on, and the inning stays alive with 2 outs. So they'll chalk it up as an infield hit for Zach Late. That's his first of the evening. And now back-to-back infield hits for the Sunrays. Let me tell you, Casey Borba has looked real good at the hot corner for San Luis Obispo, making the job less competitive for the other infielders on the team.
Yeah, and there's a ton of them. Few have left due to actually how little playing time there is, but when you just have so much talent, it's hard.
0-1 is hit on the right side. Tallman on the back of the infield races towards the bag. He'll tap it for the 3rd out of the inning. The Sunrays strand 2 runners on. They score none. It's still 14-2 San Luis Obispo. It is time to stretch. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. Bottom of the 7th inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. New pitcher in for the San Diego Sunrays after a short stint from Mihi, just 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts. It's now Jake Spence, the Charger from Cypress College, entering his junior season after growing up in Aliso Viejo. Spoiling that pitch off, it's Nico Button who leads things off for the Blues in this inning. 5-6-7 for San Luis Obispo as they trail big over the San Diego Sunrays. A 14-2 ball game, a 5 spot last time they came up to hit. Now they're up now with a 12-run lead off 10 hits and 7. That's right, 7 errors from the Sunrays. Shot hard, right back up the middle. Spence has got it. Flip over to first to Late is in time to retire Nico Button. Hot shot from Nico Button, but it's not enough to reach on, and there's 1 out here in the 7th inning. So now it's Braden Mondu. He's 1 for 3 on the day, a walk and a base hit. He came around to score on that base hit. With his new orange bat. Checks his swing, and that's in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Mondu, who's heading into this game batting a .333 clip. And he swings and misses at that fastball for strike 2. 1 gone here on the Nico Button comeback or ground out. 14-2 lead for San Luis Obispo. 0-2 count to Braden Mondu.
So really good at bat for Mondu coming off the injury to get his feet under him, get a base hit, run the bases a little bit.
Missing downstairs 1-2.
It's tough coming off of 4 games off due to injury, especially a wrist injury. I mean, that has a lot to play with how he fields the ball, how he hits the ball, even how he slides. So you slide, you jam your wrist into a bag, and you could hurt that injury even more.
1-2 to Mondu. Taken downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And yeah, I guess that's why you got the oven mitt when you're running the base paths. And that's also why he's doing the designated hitting tonight. Don't want to put any extra pressure on that wrist, playing shortstop where he typically plays, or second base. He's here in a 2-2 count, doing the DHing tonight with 1 gone, facing the new pitcher, Jake Spence. And the breaking pitch just misses inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I actually talked to Mondu about his new orange bat down in Santa Barbara. Not much went into it, honestly. He went to the store and held it, said it felt good, took it home. Fair enough. Fastball in the outside corner for strike 3. Braden Mondu goes down on strikes, and there's 2 outs in the inning. So now with 2 gone, it's Zach Tollerman. He's 1 for 3 on the day. A base hit back in the 3rd, reached on air, walked, and flew out to left field. Came around to score on that walk last inning in the 6th. Here he is now with Grantham playing very shallow at third base, infield at double play depth. And outfielders, especially in left field, and Collins playing awfully deep to Tollerman. Takes a look at strike 1. Looks at that worm burner. 1 ball and 1 strike to ZT.
I got a fun fact for you, Nate.
Let's hear it.
Tollerman,
Yep.
10th on the team in plate appearances, but he's 3rd in runs scored. So he's getting it done when he gets on the bases. He's coming around and putting up numbers for the Blues.
He sure is. What an interesting stat as he looks at that fastball at the outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, he only has, this is his 25th plate appearance, and he has 8 runs.
1-2 is dribbled on the right side. Late's got it. He flips it to first, and dropping the ball is the pitcher, Spence. Another error for the Sunrays. That's 8.
8 errors is unheard of at any level of baseball. It's just really sloppy from the defense.
So the inning stays alive off the E1. It's now Gio Blanchette, who's 1 for 3 this evening. A strikeout looking to start things off, but then he rallied a single, reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score, and then was hit by pitch in the 6th. One of the 3 hit by pitch victims tonight, as that slider just misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, and Zach Tollerman, and the new pitcher, Jake Spence, who's rocking the stirrups with the powder blue stripes on the dark blue background. 1-0, misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And I was never a big stirrup guy until I had to play in junior college, and I was mandated to wear stirrups. Never been a pants-up guy either. I loved the baggy pants look as the throw to first. Not in time to get Tollerman. I don't know. I just couldn't rock with the high pants. As an outfielder, I feel like you don't see that a lot, you know?
It's true. My heyday, I was a stirrup guy.
Yeah.
Way back when I played, when I was in Little League. That was the last time I played competitive baseball.
Up and out of play for Blanchette. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I was a big stirrup guy. I played a lot of short, and I caught as well.
Short, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like catchers, you see it a little bit too, for sure. I just like the look of it, especially I've always had these long legs, and I feel like the stirrups make my legs look not quite as long because it's like a separation of color there.
You don't want your legs to look long?
I mean, as a shortstop, shortstops and catchers aren't. I mean, some shortstops are, I guess, when you think of like O'Neal Cruz and even Ardois is tall. He's about my height, 6'2".
Yeah.
But as catchers are usually short, stocky. You want to have that smaller frame. I don't know. I didn't like looking so lanky on the ball on the diamond.
Those scouts at your Little League games could incorrectly evaluate you.
Yeah.
There's a walk to Gio Blanchette. He reaches base safely for the 4th time this evening. And now the aforementioned Sam Ardois steps up for the 5th time today.
I was doing some research during that Blanchette at bat. At the MLB level, these are the best baseball players in the world. But this was a World Series game. The White Sox and the Giants combined for 9 errors. Today we have 10. It just shows you how poorly the defense is from both sides, but especially the Sunrays.
There's first pitch slider missing outside to Sam Ardois. That's a lot for the big league level. I wouldn't have said 9.
Yeah.
I probably would have said probably 7 would be my guess.
And in a World Series game.
1-0 slider, clipping the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You got to think those are the best teams in the National and American League going at it. In Game 5 of the World Series this was in 1917, so a while ago.
Swung on and missed for strike 2 is Sam Ardois. Twilight sky in full effect. The lavender hues have now faded into a silver blue sky. Easy to lose the ball in that. Ardois looks at the fastball downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know what I'm noticing, though? No moon yet.
There's no moon.
It better come out.
Ryan and I are panicking a little bit because we have started a new tradition on the broadcast. Whenever we play in night games, we like to guess the moon percentage. As Ardois fists this one up and out of play. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tradition that started a few games ago with the Sonoma Stompers. We'll take a look at the moon, and we'll see what percent of it is full. And did you get it last time?
Yeah, I think I got you both times.
Both times?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, I have to write this down. So Ryan is 2-0. Ryan is 2-0 on the moon percentage guess. And fans at home, be sure to play along with us as well. Put it in the chat as Sam Ardois goes down swinging and strands 2 runners on. 14-2 Blues heading to the top of the 8th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Boost Streaming Network. Top of the 8th inning here, a 14-2 ball game in favor of San Luis Obispo. Like to remind you all that Blues fans, July 3rd is our firework night as the Blues face off against the rivals in the Santa Barbara Foresters. This is our biggest game of the year, so get your tickets now at bluesbaseball.com. We'll see you at Sinsheimer for a night of exciting baseball and spectacular fireworks happening on July 3rd. Grab your tickets now, folks. 1-0 count to the 5-hitter and Carson Case. And he skies this one. I completely lost it, but Sam Ardois can see it at shortstop. Waves everyone off and squeezes it for the first out of the inning. You know, I love talking about that twilight sky. It's very difficult to see that ball in the air. I'm amazed that Ardois was able to track it down. With now one out here, it's Gavin Collins, the left fielder, batting 6. He's 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a walk in the second inning. And he's first pitch swinging. He dribbles this one on the left side. Ardois moves to his left, throw to first in time for the second out of the inning.
Good job by Sammy Frederich to induce soft contact with back-to-back batters.
Frederich coming in to relieve Jack Sand, the left-hander from UW. He was stellar once again for the Blues, holding things down in a huge margin of, don't want to say victory. The game isn't over yet. Huge scoring margin for San Luis Obispo. There we go.
There you go.
As Braden Grantham steps up now with 2 outs. And the fastball from Frederich misses inside as it pops out of Nico Button's glove. 1 ball, no strike. 0 for 2 on the night is Braden Grantham. A strikeout looking, reached on air. And he also walked as he sends this one up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, really good outing from San. Gets him to 7 innings, no earned runs on the season.
Frederich on the 1-1 count from the windup. Comes home, gets a swing and a miss from Braden Grantham for strike 2. Could an astronomer in the chat let us know why we can't see the moon?
I wonder if we were thinking that today was going to be a full moon. Maybe it was yesterday, and then it's like I don't know. This might sound dumb and crazy, but a hidden moon or something like that?
Hidden moon?
I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't come out after the day after a full moon. I don't know.
What's worse, a hidden moon or a moonologist?
They're both up there. Number 1 and number 2 on dumbest moments on the SLO Blue streaming network.
Happening in consecutive games is crazy. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. There's a strikeout from Sammy Frederich. The Rays go 1-2-3 in the 8th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, 14-2 Blues. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blue streaming network. new noodle for the San Diego Sunrays. It's C.J. Brown out of Santa Ana College, the uncommitted right-hander entering his junior year from Garden Grove, California, comes in for the Rays. In a 14-2 ball game, SLO Blues up big over San Diego as E.J. Royal leads things off here in the 8th.
Getting his 6th at-bat of the day. Already has a hit. He's reached base safely all 5 times.
As Ryan and I can't find the moon.
I might have to start Googling some things, finding out where it is.
As E.J. Royal fouls this one straight back. No balls and 1 strike.
I'm literally going to look up on my phone right now, where is the moon?
You're going to see the percent, dude.
No.
Wait, ask the chat. We need someone in the chat to, and this could be asking a lot, look outside. Our PA announcer just flashed the moon percentage at me, and I have to turn away. I fear that I saw the number.
I fear as well. Today might be a wash.
It wasn't NASA, though.
It wasn't.
It was that other one you said.
Yeah.
What was it? Moon
Lovers or something like that.
1 ball, 1 strike to E.J. Royal, leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Skips away to the backstop, 2 balls and 1 strike. We need some help, chat. If anyone can see the moon, please let us know that it does exist out there.
I mean, it has to somewhere. It's just a matter of where is it?
Maybe it's the big reveal. Maybe it's actually full. You ever see that when it's actually full and it's like a giant pizza in the sky? And strike 2's taken to E.J. Royal. 2-seam fastball. Pretty good movement on it. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder. Royal on the 2-2. Looks downstairs, fills it up, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The new pitcher, C.J. Brown.
We actually have our production assistant, Mark Robinson, doing a lap outside the stadium to try to see if he can
Is he
find the
really?
moon. Yeah.
That's commitment right there.
I mean, we just can't find it.
Payoff pitch, taken low and away, ball 4. There's a leadoff base runner for San Luis Obispo. So that's the second walk of the day to E.J. Royal, and the 6th time he's reached base safely. All 6 plate appearances, E.J. Royal has been awarded at least first base.
I think I might go online and start making a flyer. Lost Moon.
Lost Moon.
Cash reward.
You'll
$500.
You'll see it on milk cartons around San Luis Obispo for the rest of the day. So now it's Braden Jeffries. He's had himself a pretty solid night. 2 for 4, a double, a single, 2 RBIs, a walk, 2 runs. First pitch pops out of the glove of Zive, and E.J. Royal holds up at first base. So our production assistant, Mark Robinson, has returned to the press box. There's no moon. Have you guys ever seen Despicable Me? Do you think Gru stole the moon?
I'm going to steal the moon. Minions, rise.
1 ball and no strikes to Braden Jeffries. And 6th time up today. Missing outside is C.J. Brown, 2 balls and no strikes. So if there's no moon, how did the PA announcer, Jim, show us a percentage?
It has to be viewable maybe from somewhere. I'm looking it up. I looked up, why can't I see the moon? And this is the answer I'm getting. So in this case of a new moon, which is possible that it's tonight, I have to look up when a new moon is.
Here we go.
The moon is between Earth and the sun. So the side of the moon facing the sun isn't facing us. Therefore, we can't see it because we only see half of the moon, essentially, because that's the side that the sun is pointing at. So today, the moon or the sun is in between the moon and the Earth, and therefore the light is not casting its shadow and making it visible for us.
So
it's possible.
So what's the percent? Are we conceding tonight's guess? At Sinsheimer, it's a perfectly clear evening in San Luis Obispo. And stepping up now is Jariah Lewis. Jariah, the only blue to not have a hit this afternoon, or this evening now. 10 strung together by this roster. And Jeffries is the only one, him and Borba, the only multi-hit batters for the Blues this evening. So that fastball misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jariah Lewis, right fielder from San Jose State.
We will get to the bottom of this.
Investigative journalism. I feel like we might have to pull up NASA soon. There's the 1-2. Swung on and miss. Strike 3. Now 2 gone here after Jariah Lewis strikes out for the second time this evening.
And I think at this point we've both seen the moon percentage.
I think I did, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's not visible, if we can just get confirmation that it will not be visible. I mean, look how dark the sky is.
Yeah.
I think we've lost all hope of seeing the moon.
Yeah, usually it's right out over kind of the parking lot down the left field line, and there's just no moon for today.
From the stretch, here's C.J. Brown with 1 out. And Casey Borba sends this one into the Blues bullpen for strike 1. Borba, one of the 2 batters to have a multi-hit day today for San Luis Obispo, sends this one straight back into the netting for strike 2. RBI single in the second, and single in the 6th inning, came around to score after stealing a bag, his first stolen base of the season. A grounder to third, pop out to second, and a pop out to the pitcher Suspensky in the first inning. Here's the 0-2 to Borba, and it skips away from the catcher Zive. The runners stay at their bases. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Giacomini actively becoming a moonologist.
We'll have to convince Cal Poly to make that a new major. The study of the moon, moonology.
Is it still Casey Borba on the 1-2 count? And strike 3, a dramatic strike call from the home plate umpire. Back-to-back Ks. Now there's 2 outs in the 8th inning. Clipped it on the outside corner. Casey Borba goes down for his 3rd strikeout of the season.
One of the helpful viewers in the chat says that it rises at 8:54, which is right now. So maybe we'll start seeing it come up and hopefully be able to take our guess in the top half of the 9th.
Nico Button sends this one up and out of play for strike 1. Button has 1 hit this evening. It was a single back in the first, RBI single. Since then, a strikeout looking, 2 walks in a row, and a grounder back to the pitcher. He's here 0-1 with 2 runners on. 2 outs. Nice slider in there for strike 2. Oh, 2 count. Chopped on the right side. Late, can't get it. Tries to get the throw over to first, and it gets away. Runners stay at their stations. E.J. Royal asking for permission from Rene Regalado to take home. He says no.
EJ wanted to score his 20th run of the season, but Rene in his hoodie over there, making sure he stays nice and warm on this chilly evening, said, EJ, just stay right here.
At first pitch, it was 69 degrees. It's now 60.
Definitely has cooled off. It doesn't help in San Luis Obispo. Usually we don't see like super high temperatures. The highest we'll see is like the mid 80s. But the sun is just always out. There's not a lot of cloud cover, so it feels hotter than it actually is.
The UV is UVing here on the first day of summer.
Yeah, but when that sun goes down, it gets cold fast. So that 69 degrees at first pitch didn't feel like 69 degrees, at least to me. It felt a little warmer. Now it feels cooler than 60.
0-1. Set into right field. Moving to his right is Darcy. He'll squeeze it for the third out of the inning. The Blues leave him loaded. It's 14-2 San Luis Obispo heading to the top of the ninth inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills. We're going to get to the bottom of this Moon stuff. So not only does the moon still exist, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, we can't actually see it from the press box. It's hiding behind this huge tree off to the left, but it's a strawberry full moon.
What?
It's red and full.
Trying to sort of, oh my goodness. That is spectacular.
Yeah.
This one's chopped on the left side. Ardois got it, throw on the run. Nice play from Sammy, and there's the first out of the inning.
So I think we know at this point it's a full moon.
I want to show the audience here.
It's going to be tough. We'll see. We'll try to find a way. I'll work on that for the next two rounds.
There we go.
See if we can get something rolling.
So it's Sammy Frederich rolling back out there. He got the first out from Frank Estrada, who grounded out to short. Okay, so it looks like Ryan has got another camera correct on here as this one's popped out into shallow left. Coming in on it is Blanchette. And you got to quickly show us the moon. So Ryan is heading back out there to try to get you guys that shot of the moon. Here he goes. As there's two outs in the inning. And it's the leadoff batter for the San Diego Sunrays. It's Gabe Darcy. And I think we can see it here. Yeah, there it is. Can you see that? Peeking over the trees out there beyond the parking lot at Sinsheimer. That little orange ball there. If you can see that as Darcy hits this one hard into the left center gap. Moving to his right is Royal, and he can't get there. More extra bases for Gabe Darcy as he sprints around first, heads across second, now tries for third. The throw is offline, and there's a triple from Gabe Darcy in his fifth plate appearance of the evening. 93 off the bat of Gabe Darcy. He's got two doubles and a triple this evening as we cut back to the moon. Ryan holding that shot for an awfully long time there. As Gabe Darcy absolutely touched that fastball into the left center gap. E.J. Royal had a solid beat on it. But shot off a cannon so hard that he couldn't get a good angle towards the end. So now it's Evan Rolbecki who breaks his bat and rolls it down the first base line with a runner on third. And one out here, or two outs here in the ninth inning. Ryan, that was great camera work, man.
Yeah, you could see it, right?
You held the shot for a really long time.
I was just making sure. I tried to give you the thumbs up from down there.
Oh, I couldn't see you.
Yeah, I figured. But it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It was a little far away.
Yeah.
But I think the audience could see it.
It's coming right out over the mountaintops.
0-1 sent to the right side, and that's going to fall foul. Just foul the right field line.
We actually just got a picture from our production assistant, Mark Robinson, and actually has a really good view of it. There's a very pretty red moon just coming over the horizon.
Sunrays down to their last strike here with a runner at third base from the Gabe Darcy triple, and this one's chopped down the third base line. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes.
Are we going to take guesses?
On the moon percentage?
Yeah.
100.
100? I don't know. We've got teased a little bit at this
See,
point.
Jim said 99.3, but
Okay, that's almost 100.
yeah. 0-2 chopped right in front of home plate and goes back behind the catcher. It's now no balls and 2 strikes again.
I think today we chalk it,
Chalk it today.
and we'll just tell everybody what the moon percentage is.
Okay.
Hopefully, we're hoping tomorrow that we can see the moon with a 4 o'clock start. Maybe if the game is a little late.
0-2 missing downstairs, Button with the backhand stop.
It appears like it is going to be 100%. It's
Yeah.
a full moon on a lovely evening.
Waxing gibbous. The final day of the waxing phase. Here's the 1-2. Missing downstairs once again, and smothering it is Button. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Indeed, 100%. A little over 237 miles away from Earth.
1,000.
Sorry, yes, obviously.
It's not that far.
We would all be dead if it was just 237 miles.
2-2. Fisted down the left field line. Blanchette ranging to his right, and that will be foul.
Unlucky for Rolbecki. He had that one down the right field line that was just inches foul. Now that one just inches foul down the left field line.
Not by much. I mean, centimeters, if that, down the left field line. So Blanchette has to trot back towards left field. And Rolbecki will do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Frederich comes set from the stretch. 2-2, missing way outside, fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two, squibbed on the left side. Borba's got it, throw on the run, and that is the ball game, folks. The Slow Blues win big time over the San Diego Sunrays, 14-2. And Ryan, there just isn't really much to analyze here except the errors absolutely destroyed San Diego this evening.
Yeah, an issue almost every inning that just granted the Blues runs in the first, second, third, fourth, and first, second, third, fifth, and sixth inning, excuse me. Just a ton of mistakes that they need to figure out if they're going to be competitive in the CCL.
Yeah, and this is a team that, without the, the Blues had good pitching performances this evening. And you look at their roster all around, they had really solid, college careers and continue to have that. So heading to this game, you thought the offensive production would be there a little bit more. But, Jackson Howell and Jack Sand looked really great tonight.
Yeah, they did. Howell, coming into this game, had started 3 times. He had been dominant in those 3 starts and just continued tonight. Sand, a great arm out of the bullpen for the Blues, and will continue to hopefully be that as we continue later into the summer.
Into this weekend, first off, it's the San Francisco Seagulls, the CCL North rival. Some action tomorrow and Sunday. The Blues will be hosting the Gulls down here at Sinsheimer. That's what we got next up on our plate. A Froze Saturday tomorrow and a Mimosa Sunday on that Sunday game. If you can't make it to those, hey, you can always tune in back on YouTube for the Slow Blues streaming network. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills. Thank you for tuning in with us this evening and learning a little bit about the moon. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. on the Slow Blues streaming network. Good night, everyone.